Okie dokie, I believe we're all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names of kicking candy ass, live in a living color here with you only on Grande's Graveyard. Yes, ladies and gents, we are here. We are live. We are in living color in Salem, Mass. And the Cemetery Man has brought 5 films to kick their candy ass and 6 films to praise. Yes, I one-upped it for the 5th volume of the Overrated versus underrated horror. Yes, I'm very excited. This is one of my favorite show concepts to do. Something that I believe I innovated on. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know of anyone else that does this gimmick. I'm sure there are people that have talked overrated, underrated movies, but this particular gimmick of pulling them out of the Holy Grail and then, of course, grabbing them out of the old shit box here, I think that's something that I may have innovated and has never been duplicated. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. It is what it is. But I'm very excited to have you all in the house. I'm excited to be here only on Grande's Graveyard. I'm talking all things overrated versus underrated horror. We've got a fun little list for y'all, and I don't want to keep you in too much suspense. So let's see what y'all have to say here in the comments. Haddonfield Mascot was here before we went live. Good evening, Grande and everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Excited to see what movies gets degraded and beat down tonight. Well, that's the fun of this. This is a bipolar show, right? We get to bury the movies that I don't really like, but a lot of people praise. And then, of course, we get to go into the mines, if you will, and find those hidden gems, and we could put those over, shine a little light on those. So this is a very bipolar show where we praise the underspoken and we shit on the overspoken. So this is always a lot of fun. Triple H is in the house. Good evening. Hey, Haddonfield Mascot. What's going on? Triple H, hope all is well with you. We got Dominic St. Clair's Gaming, Films, and Comics. Hell yeah, man. Hey, what's going on, Dom? Hope all is well with you. We got Ghostface Brett in the house. What's up? What's up, Ghostface Brett? Hope all is well with you. Slasher Fred is here. He's already throwing out recommendations. The Cave from me. Welcome, Slasher Fred. People saying hi. Triple H again. Anthony Chobot. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how are you doing today, buddy? By the way, I just came back from my interview and still up to 2011 in my memoir, Seeing Thunderbolts Tomorrow. Well, I hope you enjoy that. We may or may not have a Florence Pugh movie in here, an emphasis on the Pugh, but we will get there. Hey, Horror Head. We got Ghostface saying hi. We have Mateo here. Ciao, Grande. Excited for this format. Makes up with a rant or two. Oh, my God. I'll make us proud of a rant or two. I hope so. There may just be more than a rant or two on this son of a bitch. Hi to the whole graveyard. We have Lord Freeze. Is it Kruger or Kruger? Well, I mean, we got to look at the shirt here. We got the Krue. Yes, there is the E. I'm sorry. This shirt always fucking confuses me because the camera's all switched around. But it's the Krue. Welcome, Lord Freeze, all the way from Portugal. Hope all is well with you. We got Ryan Hanley in the house. Does this stream come with a trigger warning? Trigger warning. All of you that are not prepared for this particular show and for me to shit on movies that get universally praised, you have been warned. Don't you try this at home now, you son of some bitches. Miss C is here. Ciao, Grande. Sorry I'm late. Had to fix video. Whoops. You are not late at all. We are 3 minutes into this son of a gun. We got Dirk in the house. SPC, a.k.a. Subjective Perspective Collective. What's going on, Dirk? Congrats on your 3-year anniversary. Of course, he just gave away an awesome 4K of The Beyond from Grindhouse Releasing, and it was won by the Alpha of all Romero fans. Alpha Romero won that. So awesome. Really cool to hear and have you in the house here tonight. Dominic St. Clair throwing bombs. You want to talk about trigger warnings? Halloween 1978 is overrated, according to Dominic St. Clair's Gaming, Films, and Comics. There have been shots fired in this son of a gun. Ford Pugh is looking more and more like a pig. Jesus Christ. You think I'm going to throw the bombs? No, my chat is throwing bombs, comparing the poor lady to Miss Piggy over here. That's always fun. Just share it on my IG. I appreciate that. Thanks, brother. You're very, very welcome. Cinephile World Order, the CWO is the only way to go, brother. What's going on? Sean, hope all is well with you. And yeah, guys, we're here. I'm very excited to do this. I've been talking about it all week. I've been preparing like Rocky and Rocky 4, running up a goddamn hillside and then getting on the top of the mountain and screaming, Drago! But tonight on Grande's Graveyard, we don't have to scream Drago. Instead, we're going to talk about some movies we love and some movies we hate only on Grande's Graveyard. So, without further ado, cheers to everybody. I know I'm drinking some boring water here tonight. I had a long doozy of a day. My phone, let's just say I have a new phone. We'll just say that. We'll say we spent a couple of hours in Verizon, maybe an hour or two. I don't know. But everybody, cheers to a safe, happy, healthy weekend. And we're going to get this show underway as the bottom is up. Yes, ladies and gents. So I figure usually I start the show off hot and we start with a rant. That's what I've done, I think, on the first 4 Overrated versus underrated shows. Tonight, we have an extra name in the mug. So we have one more underrated film than usual, 6 in here, 5 in here. We're going to get to this mug first because then in chronology, instead of doing 2 underrated at the end in a row, we still go back and forth, and we'll end underrated, start underrated. On we go. So let's do it. All right. Let's actually, you know what, before we do, I see people in the chat. I don't want to ignore y'all. Let me go here. I think I'll open the hostilities. The Conjuring is lame. Milquotis. Oh, okay. I mean, I quite like The Conjuring, so that's understandable. But I know quite a few people that do not. So yeah, no, agree with Dominic. Okay. Anything Alfred Hitchcock's overrated? I would agree with a lot of his films are overrated. I don't know if everything, but there are quite a few Hitchcock movies. Cheers with my Deer Park, H2O all day. Am I drinking? I'm drinking Pure Life. So, all right. You know what? They're going to have to sponsor my dumbass. Miss Triple H says, cheers. Halloween felt boring. Okay. And you have the Lady Grey tea. All right. So we're all drinking good here tonight, but let's start the show off cold, cool, collected with a show from the cup. Let's see. What do we got? Okay. You know what? We are starting this show up kind of hot, kind of cold, kind of sexy, because we're talking about one of my all-time favorite actresses and all-time favorite filmmakers, of course. I actually own this one. I do own this one. So no screen to share here. This, of course, is a Spanish-German production from the year, of course, 1973. Now, this was shot in 1970, didn't get released till 1973 because of the death of the lead actress. We'll get into that. This, of course, is Eugenie de Sade. Eugenie de Sade, brief plot synopsis. After a bashful young woman discovers that her famed wordsmith stepfather is a psychopath and sexual deviant, she becomes an accomplice in his murderous sex games. Yes, of course, directed by the legendary Jess Franco and starring the late, great Soledad Miranda. And this was, of course, her first leading role. And this was shot in the early part of 1970, I believe January of 1970 when this thing was filmed. And then, of course, she sadly passes away in August of 1970 in the fatal car crash. And this is one that I really wanted to shine some light on here because a lot of Soledad movies do get their praise now. Of course, your Vampiros Lesbos of the world, your Count Draculas of the world, and even She Killed in Ecstasy. But this is the one that seems to get lost in the shuffle. And, of course, it was released posthumously after she had passed away. And man, to me, this is one that really needs to be talked about and seen more because I just thought the world of this movie. This is a really disturbing film, I will tell you right off the bat, but man, I think in all the right ways. So, of course, this tells the story of Eugenie de Sade, who's played by Soledad Miranda, and the movie opens up, we're on her deathbed. She's lying there, she's bleeding from the mouth, and who else but Jess Franco sits down and says, tell me everything. What's going on? Tell me the story of your life. How did you get to this point, Soledad? And the entire film is basically told in a flashback. We're on Soledad's deathbed, and we see the entire of like how it played out, how she got to this point in her life, how she got to lie in her deathbed. And of course, she is this girl who grew up without a mother. Her mother died just a few days after giving birth to her. Of course, she's raised by her mother's, I guess, widower, who is not her real father. It's her stepfather. He does take the kid in, and he's this famous erotic novel writer. And he writes all of this crazy stuff about sadomasochism and BDSM and bondage and all of this crazy stuff that this guy likes to pen to paper. And he's over like Rover. I mean, his novels are huge. He's one of the biggest BDSM horror novel / romance novel guys in the whole world. And Eugenie is this innocent woman, right? She sits a lot in the fetal position. She shows kind of this innocence, this kind of, reserved nature. And of course, this is Eugenie's kind of jump into the dark side. She starts off this reserved, timid, shy woman who doesn't know just quite where she wants to go with her sexuality. And as the movie starts to play out, she reads one of her stepfather's novels. And of course, she becomes very turned on and enthralled. And she says, "Hey, Daddy, I like you." And there's a whole fucking thing where she's trying to win him over. At first, he's like, no, no, no. And then he concocts this big plan. Well, what if we made games out of this? What if we brought in some people, we played games with them or took pictures with them or all these things with weird sexual acts? And of course, they start killing these people off one by one in this really weird, sadistic, stepdaughter versus stepfather love angle, and there is just all these craziness in the middle. And I think everyone should see this. Like, this to me is just an absolute classic Jess Franco movie. And when I think Jess Franco, I think the sun, I think the summer, I think the beach, I think beautiful sunny day at the beach, hot gleaming sun and the cold, wet sand. And that's what I think of when I think Jess Franco. But this, of course, was shot in Liechtenstein. Now, if I mispronounce that, I am so sorry. I'm not German. Any of my German graveyard goers, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, you can correct me. It's shot in Liechtenstein, Germany. And of course, the entire movie was shot in January, so we have a very winter-themed movie. Perhaps one of Jess Franco's only winter-themed movies. We see quite a little bit of the snow. We see the city. We see these two going around the town, and they are just having a grand old time killing innocent people, and then, of course, getting it on afterwards. It's almost like that has to perspire in order for them to have sex with one another. And it is quite disturbing and unhinged. I'm sitting here, I'm like, Jesus, this is uncomfortable. But at the same time, it's exciting. And I think that's the point. It's a very conflicting film where it's the playing with the balances and tones of innocence versus the dark, sensual, sexual side of the reality that all lives within us. We sometimes all want to resonate, right, with the Soledad Miranda. Oh, we're just these innocent people in the fetal position. No, goddamn it, we all got a dark side. We've all got a sexy side, and of course, she gets to exploit it. But of course, at what cost? At the cost of all these people losing their lives. There's a great sequence where Soledad Miranda does this strip tease, and they're kind of all playing this game where if you lose the game, you have to take a shot. And of course, the woman that they have there, she's getting drunk. And then they play this game where, okay, if you lay down and we tickle you or mess with you, if you move, if you sell it, then, you know, you lose the game. So this woman, they say, okay, stand still. You can't do anything. And basically what they do, Soledad pins her down to the couch. And then, of course, the professor, he just like strangles her, and it's just insanity. And then they just get it on with her dead in the room. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, this is absolutely off the chain bonkers, but in the best of way. It's, to me, man, when I think of like BDSM horror, when I think of the dark side of sexuality, this is a movie that needs to be seen. It's just got a little bit of everything. It has that psychology. It has Soledad Miranda, the wonderful screen presence. I've gone on and on about her on this channel. One of my all-time favorite actresses. I just adore every performance she ever did. And it's really cool that this was the first leading role for her. Jess Franco and her, just the perfect dynamic duo. I always say this too, you know, like, perfect example, Lena Romay, right? Lena Romay eventually takes Soledad's spot after her death, and she becomes the one to work with Jess, and not only work with him, but they eventually get married in real life. I mean, they were married to her death up until like 2012. I think she died of cancer, and then he followed in suit from natural causes in 2013. So they died right around the same time. I always say this, as much as I like Romay, and she's talented, she's sexy, she's beautiful, and they were married. So they had something there. There was something that clicked there. I don't think any two people ever had the chemistry when it comes to director and lead actress that a Soledad Miranda and Jess Franco did. Even though they weren't married, even though they weren't lovers, even though they weren't adulterers with one another, their chemistry could just elevate the most average movie to this grand masterpiece. And that to me is what Eugenie de Sade is. It's just a little bit of everything. Again, gorgeous winter shots. Jess playing with the zooms as Jess always does. Soledad stealing the show. I just absolutely love this. This is a great one, in my humble opinion. Eugenie de Sade, a Spanish/German co-production. Highly recommended because it is just absolutely gorgeous. But let's see what you all had to say in the comments. I think we were here. Everything is overrated. There it is. End of the stream. Good night, everybody. Sean, that's what Sean says. Christopher is in the house. Yeah, bro, nothing better than the graveyard on a Thursday night for me, bro. Me and the kids, bro, we got to get together, bro. I got to pick them up from school, bro. You know what I mean, bro? With me and Chris, we have this guy that has a very fun personality that works with us, and he always says, bro. So, yo, bro, happy to have you on the graveyard, bro. I'm drinking a milkshake. Hell yeah. What flavor? I know we have some Hereditators, but I never got the hype behind Blair Witch. Well, I like Blair Witch quite a bit. I am a Hereditator, though. I'm a proud Hereditator. The Cave from 2005, this movie came out in the same year as The Descent, and it has a couple of claustrophobic, and it is very underrated. Very cool. Soledad is amazing. Dirk, I couldn't agree with you more. Dirk and Darren did an awesome, I think, retrospective for Soledad Miranda on their channel. Really cool. I don't remember if they talked about this one. I'm not sure. I don't think they did, unless I missed that part of the stream. But this is one that I think gets lost in the shuffle largely because it wasn't released till after she died. Like, that was the whole thing, where they were shooting that in January of 1970, just after Count Dracula. And then he goes on to make the 3 pictures with her. Of course, Devil Came from Akasaba, She Killed in Ecstasy, Vampiros Lesbos. And of course, those 3 had the reputation that, of course, you probably would want for. But Eugenie didn't get released till 3 years down the road because they said Jess was really grieving over it and he wanted to hold it back. And that's why it gets released right after The Demons, I think, for Jess Franco in the early 1973 years. So that's a shame. I don't know if that's why it's lost in the shuffle. Now, I know you can get a really cheap bare bones DVD of it, and it looks really good for a DVD. I highly recommend you guys give it a shot, especially if you're looking to explore the dark sexual fantasies that the horror genre has to offer. I got some hot takes. 1, X is overrated. That was featured. I buried X on one of these for sure. 2, Pearl is unnecessary. Mia Goth is really good in the movie, but I don't like any of those movies. 3, Maxine is disappointing. Maxine sucked. Maxine was a piece of shit. I'll watch anything with her in it. I would too. I would watch a fucking Bounty commercial with Soledad Miranda in it. See, Scream 1 I think is great. Scream 1 I do think is great. Now, everything that Scream has spawned, sure. I mean, Jesus Christ, sure. But it's another situation where that saved horror movies. I know people like to say it changed horror movies. It's one of the most revolutionary horror movies. You can throw whatever word you want to use. I think the proper word you could say is it saved the genre. People that weren't going to see horror movies anymore started to go and see horror movies. It was spreading through word of mouth. It made all of this buzz. It created an entire subgenre of horror with neo-horror movies. And I think that Scream has to get its credit. Now, you might not like the movie. You may think it's overrated. I could totally see that, but I think there's no denying that it saved the genre. That's kind of where I stand with that. The plot sounds like Sunset Boulevard, where the whole movie is told through the plot. Wow, Jesus Christ, that is not a comparison I thought I would hear tonight. Soledad Miranda and Eugenie de Sade sounds like Sunset Boulevard. Well, why the hell not? Why the hell not? But I will say, it's a lot darker than Sunset Boulevard, so don't go in thinking that. I think Liechtenstein is an actual country, not a part of Germany. It is a microstate, though, like a Vatican or something. Okay, so if that is correct, then I know this was a German co-production. So that is that, but I thought it was part of Germany. So that is my mistake. If I'm wrong there, I apologize if I mispronounced anything or said anything. Another great Spanish production was Pieces, underrated too, R.I.P. Soledad. I agree completely. Pieces is so much fun, so gory, so violent, so brutal, so tongue-in-cheek at the same time, and the whole reveal of the killer. That's a really fun, like, gory glory splat stick horror movie for sure. We had a 10-hour complete blackout in Portugal last Monday. Horror movie stuff, Grande. Oh man, that's scary. That's really scary. What the hell, man? That's your purge. You got to go kill some. You got to go take out anybody's ass. Megan can eat my ass. Yeah, Megan can eat everybody's ass. I'm not a big fan. I didn't hate Megan either, but I'm good. I'll have to check that out and keep an eye out for it. Haven't seen it or heard of it. That's the beauty of the underrated. That's my goal, is for you to never have heard of these movies and to go seek them out. So Haddonfield Mascot, that made my day. I appreciate that. Chris is laughing. Yeah, Out of the Jolly, Deep Red is pretty overrated. Argento has several films that put above it. Wow. Damn, that is... Wow, we were throwing hot takes. I don't know if Mateo heard you. Mateo might have to fly in from friggin' Canada and kick your candy ass. I'm just kidding. I'm so glad you got it. Oh, of course I got it, bro. I got kids, bro. What do you think? I'm not going to get it, bro? Yeah, haven't seen that one. I know about it. Who put that out? So this is put out by Blue Underground. I think Blue Underground just did a sale. You can get this for like $3 to $5. It's really cheapy. I'm sure you can find it online too. I think it's really worth it. Like, to me, it has a little bit of everything. And that to me is why I'm a big fan of Jess Franco and Soledad Miranda. Is the psychology in this particular movie. Scream revitalized the genre. Look at neo-horror this one. Exactly. And again, you can not like Scream, say it's overrated, but you can't like take away the legacy and what it inspired. And it got horror movies being talked about again. I think that's the most important thing. Like the same thing, like I always say, am I a big fan of the Terrifier movies? No, not really. But I would be lying if I said I'm not happy that it gets more eyes on the product of horror. I wouldn't be a horror fan if I didn't feel that way. So yeah, I'm for it. I always question why these movies, when they tried them 15 years ago, it didn't draw a dime, and yet Art the Clown sells out Chicago Days of the Dead every freaking 2 months. It's just crazy. I love Franco's Justine, my favorite film of his. Oh man, that's an excellent choice. Really, really love Justine. Great. Hands up for Fundo Russo, please. Yeah, I knew I was gonna say. I was like, Mateo's not gonna. Is Soledad the undercover cop in Pieces? If yes, then I know of her. No, so she had been gone for quite some time before that, unfortunately. She died in 1970. But yeah, no, she was a beautiful lady. Just everything about her always just kind of, it makes me gravitate towards her. Definitely grabbing that. Kubrick lovers in the house. Welcome, Kubrick. The Mask and Killer alone makes Scream one of the GOATs. Yeah, well, that's coming from Lord Freeze's friggin', thing is Ghosted. We have 2 people in the chat with Ghostface as their friggin' pro pick here. Same thing about Paranormal Activity. That movie isn't anything special, but look at the impact it made. Exactly. I hate that movie, but it made impact. So it is what it is. But I think we've been positive enough. It's been 21 minutes, and I don't know about you, but I smell some doo-doo. I smell some doo-doo coming out of the trash bag of fuck. And what do we got? Oh, no. Oh no, here we are, guys. Here we are. We got a screen share. We got a screen share. We got to keep you all in suspense as of what we're screen sharing here. But unfortunately, we have our first movie of the night that I am not too fond of. This one came out in 2015. It was a good year for me. The Mets went to the World Series. I graduated high school. And unfortunately, this fucking piece of shit came out, and everybody in their fucking papaw loved it. I'm talking to you people here tonight about Green Room. Yes, Green Room. From 2015. I don't know. It's not letting me share it the usual way I share it, so sorry about that. But the briefest of brief plot synopsis is a punk rock band is forced to fight for survival after witnessing a murder at a neo-Nazi white privilege skin bar. Yes. Green Room. So I record every week in a yellow room. I think just this room alone is better than Green Room. I mean, I hate Green Room. What a bunch of nonsense. So it's sad that we kicked off the show with 2 movies that their lead actor or actress has died prematurely. Of course, Anton Yelchin, may he rest in peace. He is the lead of this film. It's him and his shitty Green Day-esque band. And of course, they're on the road. It opens up where they're talking about, what's your desert island band? And then they decide to go to their fucking show. They play the show. They're getting booed at first. And then they're on their way out. They witness a murder. And then everybody hides like a fucking pussy in the room. Patrick Stewart shows up, pretends to be Charles Xavier if he could fucking walk. And then a bunch of fucking people argue about the whole movie in the fucking green room, outside the fucking green room. The entire movie is people stalling. That's the entire film. There's no tension. There's no good character development. There's no good performances. There's no good fucking look to this particular picture. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that and say, hey, it's very punk rock. It's very of that musical scene. And that's what we love, right? And hey, I've been to quite a few hardcore shows in my life. It may not look like it, but I have. I mean, that's fine if you saw the atmosphere of a hardcore show / punk rock show at this particular movie. But that doesn't save it for me. I mean, this is absolutely, it should have been called Lingering the Movie. The entire movie just lingers. Oh, we're all scared. We have this gun and we're locked in this green room. The fucking door is as thin as A Cup Yitz, and Patrick Stewart and company's entire neo-Nazi, red-laced, white privileged, and I guess anti any other race, I guess they're white fucking supremacists, are waiting outside this door that I shit you not. It was as thin as a fucking Dr. Seuss book. And for some reason, they don't just break this door down. No, they all just cower outside. Patrick Stewart gives these long monologues. Oh, if we want to get inside and we want to be clean about this, we need to think smartly about this. And I'm here and I'm going to call my friends about this. Buddy, shut the fuck up. Go teach some mutants how to fucking kick some ass. I don't give a shit about your monologues about red-laced, neo-Nazi, white privileged fucking supremacists. I don't give a shit. And then the people that we're supposed to side with, these punk rockers that were supposed to go, oh, did you hear their Desert Island band? Does he get to take Ozzy and Ronnie James Dio if it's Black Sabbath? buddy, I love Black Sabbath, but your mother's a whore, and you are too. And this entire room, they have this fat guy. There's this fat fuck, and they have him in this cross arm breaker. He's like, I'll break your arm, bro. I'll break his arm. He's yelling outside the door at Patrick Stewart. I'll break this fat fuck's arm. I don't care. And the fat guy's like, please, they're going to break my arm. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck time is it, man? It's been a half hour. That's it. Oh, my God. The characters in the green room are some of the worst, most terribly written characters I've seen in quite some time. You have Imogen Poots. I shit you not, that's her fucking name. Imogen Poots to asses. Nobody gives a shit about you or the Black Christmas remake or anything you've ever been in because you stink. You have no charisma. Soledad Miranda's left ass cheek has more charisma in it than your entire fucking 110 pounds soaking wet with 2 bricks in your pocket has in your entire goddamn body. And I am sorry to say this. Somebody last night was telling me I become Canadian when I ran. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry because you mother Canuckers and your green room stinks as shit. And that's why it's in this goddamn trash can. Absolutely unacceptable. It's a bunch of people lingering for hours. When there are kills, they're very cut away. There's a slight bit of gore that got the marks to get as hard as a fucking Viagra pill. And then for some goddamn reason, the end of the movie, we have a Mexican standoff that is more boring than any other Mexican standoff I have ever seen. There's no color in the film. It's just gray. It's just bland. It's just fucking Limp Bizkit. And man, this is just an absolute disgrace to me. I don't understand why this movie gets the praise. Why this gets a 7.0 on IMDb. It gets a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. What fucking movie critic saw this and liked it? What is there to like? It has nothing to fucking say. It's not entertaining. It's not a situation where, okay, at least it was gory. At least it was violent. At least it's memorable. You will forget this in T-minus 10 minutes after you leave the movie theater or T-minus 10 minutes after you turn it off wherever the hell you want to stream it from. I'm sorry, but this movie stinks. It stinks forever. It will always stink. I don't care. I do not understand why the hell it has one fan, let alone 90% and 7.0s and all these great round numbers. The green room is the drizzling shits, in my humble opinion, and I really don't like this movie. So, enough said about that. Let's see what y'all have to say here in the bloody goddamn comments. We were here. Ghostface Brett is here. Dude, Green Room fucking sucks. I just rewatched that one. It absolutely tanked on a rewatch for me. This shit sucks. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. And I know you were one that you messaged me. You're like, because Brett and I talk a lot, and you were like, you don't like Green Room? And I was like, no, I don't. Quite a few people were. I remember when I first talked about it, people were like, what the hell? You don't like Green Room? Like, I got that same like crossed look, like people being like, huh, you a leper now? I don't know. I don't. I just don't. I don't think there's anything good here. You would think in a movie like this, at least the music's going to be good. The music sucks too. I mean, there's just nothing, zero positives for me. Green Room was fantastic. Love the Pacific Northwest setting. Yeah, no, that it has that Seattle look. So yeah, I guess, if you like that part of the country, that's totally understandable. It does have a very you're right, Pacific Northwest look to it. So I guess there is that if you look at it as a positive. I don't know. For me, I wanted a little bit more life to this picture. I felt that kind of setting made it look a little bit bland, but that might just be me. Lord Free says, fuck Green Room. We can just all guess what the star means. Let's see. Haven't seen Green Room, been high on the watch list. Guess I'll watch it so I can have an opinion. Well, there you go. See, I've sold the underrated, and now I've unfortunately sold an overrated. Patrick Stewart did try, bless his heart, but the movie falls flat for me. I agree. He is trying. I just, what was his role, really? It's almost like he shows up, and it's like, hey, it's Patrick Stewart. Like, that's what they wanted you to do, but there's no... What was his character? You just discuss things. You discuss how you're going to get these people through this paper-thin door, and you never fucking do it. Instead, the movie ends with a Mexican standoff with no intensity. There couldn't have been less heat in that Mexican standoff at the end. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is terrible. I still haven't seen Green Room. I've heard a lot of praise for it, though. Yeah, it does have a lot of praise. Pussy in the Green Room, King Tut in Pharaoh's tomb, about to kill Dr. Doom. The movie's about to go Boom! Kubrick lover dropping motherfucking bars. Hey, Florence Pugh, open your mouth and say oink. Dude, what the fuck? Why do you hate Florence Pugh so bad? I don't mind Florence Pugh, but Jesus Christ, Lord freezes salt in this woman. Patrick Stewart felt so out of place. It was just so weird. I'm like, okay, so he's going to be a big part of the film, right? Not really. He just fucking sits there and talks about doing things. He doesn't ever really do anything. It's just a bunch of pussies, man. Blue Rain kicks the shit out of Green Room. Well, there you go. Oh, Blue Ruin. I'm sorry. Blue Ruin kicks the shit out of Green Room. I've not seen Blue Ruin, but I will have to take a ghoulie gander because if you don't like Green Room and like Blue Ruin, maybe I'll like Blue Ruin. Ha, hell yeah. Fuck Green Room. The punk aesthetic felt like Hot Topic poser shit. Ian McKellen, are you trying to say, would tear the ball up? Or are you saying Ian McKay as the actual punk? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Ian McKellen from fucking X-Men. The fucking Magneto shows up and does the fucking metal powers on motherfuckers. He kills people with guitars. Wouldn't that be great? I don't know why I misread that. I'm sorry. I ruined his whole comment. I'm so sorry. The Rock is about to go punk, who would have to dunk, about to go mosh and drunk and acting like criminals, never like monks. Oh, shit. Imogen Poots is a babe. Not the best actress, though. Yeah, I mean... yeah, she isn't the best actress. She doesn't have any personality. Like, you think for an actor, you're going to act like you can fucking have a personality, but she can't even do that. Oh my God, I forgot she was in that. She's the lead. She's the lead of the fucking remake. The fucking people singing Santa Baby. Okay, more raps from Kubrick lover. Just to save a little time. Yo, Ginger Ninja man, you may want to stay tuned because I got an Australian movie in this fucking dumpster here. Oh yeah, you nailed this one. I liked it on the first watch, but this shit tanked on a rewatch. Not sure what I saw in it because there's nothing here. You know, hey, you're not alone. Anyone who liked this movie, you're in the majority. I'm a leper for not liking this movie. I just don't get what is so good about it. And I tried to read some of these reviews and I'm like, you're not, again, it feels like the movie, you're just lingering. Like, tell me what you don't like. Or I'm sorry, tell me what you praise, if you will. I told you what I don't like. I've seen it twice, can't remember a thing about it. I am exactly in the same boat. I had to rewatch it for show prep this week because I didn't remember the fucking movie. Patrick Stewart probably needed a new car in 2015. Only reason I can see if we're to accept this project. Let's see, nothing here. Okay, no more rapping. Ginger Ninja. So you're saying the substance was underrated, right? Of course I am. I'm sure you saw my review and loved it just as much as everybody else. Thank you, Ginger. Texas THC 1965 is in the house. Texas here, live in living color. Good thing Red Rusty hasn't tuned in yet. I think I pissed Rusty off. I don't think he liked my my substance review. He was like, good Lord, and didn't say anything else. So sorry if I pissed him off. Right, exactly. Wouldn't this movie have been great if Magneto just showed up and took down that fucking door and then we all could have went home? I don't know. I didn't mind Green Room. It wasn't great, but far from terrible. Okay, more fucking, the raps are going. But everyone, Green Room, it's truly, I say this sometimes, it's for the birds. It's just for the birds. But let's go back into something more positive, shall we? Let's get something really positive off our chest here. And of course, this next one is from the year, I think 2014. I want to double check myself on that. Yes, 2014. Let me get the screen share up here. I'm sorry. See, that's the only problem with doing these so random, that I have to make sure I have the right screen share up when I go to talk about it. So this one came out in 2014. This is a movie that was shot by Americans, but shot in Matteo. I don't know if you're still here, but this was shot in the old land of Italy. So if you're homesick ever, watch this movie because it is some beautiful imagery of the city of Rome and all through Italy. Of course, this is from 2014. This is Spring. Yes, Spring from 2014. Brief plot synopsis. A young man in a personal tailspin flees from the U.S. to Italy, where he sparks up a romance with a woman harboring a dark, primordial secret. Yes, Spring. Now, this is a movie that I saw right around the time it came out. This was like one of the first movies I actually can ever remember watching on Netflix. And I was fucking blown away by it. Even then, and I still am now upon a rewatch this year, I thought this was really, really good. I mean, fantastically done. Of course, the film does star Lou Taylor Pucci as our lead, and he is, of course, this guy who has just lost his mother. She passed away from a long illness and battle with cancer. He goes out to the bar one night, and he meets up with Jeremy Gardner, and I popped. Jeremy Gardner from The Battery and The Leech and all these movies that I love. After Midnight, nicest guy, too. I've talked with Jeremy. Really, really sweet guy. I would love to get him on the show someday. He's just really busy. He's one Atlanta Braves fan I could stand. Just kidding, Jeremy, if you even see this, but shout out to Jeremy. He meets up with Jeremy Gardner, and they're talking, and of course, Lou's getting drunk and stuff like that, and he says to him, he's like, hey, man, maybe you need to change of scenery. Maybe you need to get away from it all for a while. I mean, you just lost your mother. Your father has been gone for so long. You're really, really sad. Why don't you skip the country and go somewhere, anywhere? And so he goes home. He thinks about it. He wakes up in the morning, and then he says, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a trip. I don't know where I'm going to go. So he goes all the way to the airport. He has no idea where he's going to go. And, of course, he lands upon Italy. Italy's the next closest flight. And he says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to hop on a plane. I'm going to drop it all. I'm going to forget everything. I'm going to fly over to Italy. I'm going to get drunk. Maybe I'm going to get lucky. Maybe I'll meet some people, and I'll sightsee in the beautiful country that is Italy. And you do see quite a bit of, I mean, this is why I love shooting a movie on location. Like, if you watch a movie like this, the shot on location, I mean, this makes Italy look like it is the most beautiful country in the world, and it might just be. I've never been personally, so I'm very jealous if anyone has. I'm jealous of you. I'm envious of you. I can't help it because, man, if you watch this movie, the visuals and the towns and the streets, and it is just absolutely stunning if you watch this picture and see everywhere they go, all the places they go to. Of course, he meets a couple of guys, guys to drink with and stuff like that. And then one night he is at this outdoor bar, and he sees a woman at the bar counter, and he says, I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to go for it. Why the hell not? Of course, this woman is just gorgeous. She's played by Nadia Hilker in the film. And he goes up to her. He tries to, ask her out or whatever and see if she'll date him. And she's like, oh, not right now. Maybe not right now. She's playing a little hard to get. And we watch as these two people kind of form and bond a chemistry and a liking to each other. It starts off very, very slow. He's trying to kind of prove himself to her. It's a very old school, feels like a romantic comedy setup in a lot of ways, like boy meets girl, girl meets boy, and they're trying to, kind of hit it off and see and learn more about one another. And of course, it eventually escalates to a night of passion. And he's like, hell yeah, I slept with this beautiful woman. I'm on cloud nine. He goes and gets a job with this guy on a farm. And he's just like, man, I may never go back to the U.S. I'm just chilling here. I'm loving to live life here. I got a beautiful girlfriend. I've got a job. I've got all the cares in the world are just, they can go somewhere else. Until we learn a dark harbinging secret about, of course, Miss Nadia here. And the big thing is, Nadia, if you can look at this poster right here, I can put it back on the screen. You can see small little tentacles. She is some sort of Lovecraftian / dog monster. That's what Nadia is. And she has to take these doses of this substance, for lack of a better fucking word. Sorry, it was just on there for a silver platter. Substance to make it all go away. So she'll start growing tentacles, or she'll start her legs will start to grow, and she'll start to morph, and she has to immediately get this medicine in her neck. And so she stops morphing into this thing. And so there are times where they'll be out to dinner and she'll say, I have to go, and she'll run away. And then of course she's in a dark alley. Some guy walks up to her, and then she just goes full on creature and kills this fucking guy and mutilates him. Holy shit. And then of course, as this plays out, it's the whole age-old story of everyone who meets their significant other, anyone who falls in love, you can deal with the person's crazy. The other person's got to have a little bit of crazy in them. They all do. But how much of that crazy can you handle? She's beautiful on the outside. You click like this, you love to take her out for some nice, fine Italian wine and walk the beaches in Italy. But can you deal with the fact that this woman is turning into a monster? Can you deal with that? Can you put up with that? And that's the big question that it asks and poses the viewer. Would you do it? And of course, our lead feels so strongly for her that he doesn't care. He's like, I'm staying. I'm doing this. And then we learn this entire backstory of, why this is happening with her. I don't want to spoil everything for you, but we learn why. And then there's an ultimate, will she stay? Will she go? Or will he be able to put up with this? Or will he not? And it's just a really, really beautiful movie. I think tapping into and discussing the horrors of losing a loved one, and then hence in return finding a loved one and what you would do to keep said loved one, right? You open up with him losing his mother. He's on the absolute rock bottom. He's getting drunk. He says, fuck it, I'll fly to Italy. And then he meets the love of his life, but there's a catch. There's always a catch if it's the love of your life. And of course, this woman is a Lovecraftian-esque monster by night, or by whatever the hell her biology says so. I thought this was really, really good. This is directed by, of course, I want to get their names here. It's a director team here of Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Now, you might remember them from a little movie called VHS Viral. Yes, that VHS movie. They do, of course, this interesting segment in that called Bone Storm. And that was, I think, right around the time. It might have even been the same year, 2014. I didn't really care for that, but this, I thought, I was like, man, you guys got something here. And I've actually seen quite a few of their films, and they usually do impress me, but I don't think any of them come close to how good Spring is. This is just a perfect movie to me. Really good acting. The two leads have tremendous chemistry with one another. You really do buy that they're in this relationship and in love. I love the exterior shots of Italy. I love the whole psychology of this thing where, in a normal relationship, can I deal that you're a fucking lunatic? Can I deal that you're this crazy person, or can I deal with that you're cheap, or whatever flaw your significant other may have? You ask yourself those questions in the mirror, but what if they were a monster? What if? And that's the whole kind of fun of this thing. And I thought that it was done so classily, and I thought that it had a nice heart to it. It's very heartfelt horror. I know that probably a lot of people, they're not going to get into that. If you're not into, if you're coming here to see gore galore, there is some gore, but that's not really what you're getting here. If you're coming here to see body horror, there is some, but that's not really the reason to come here. This is something a little bit more thought-provoking, a little bit more along the lines of a very dark Lovecraftian love story, and to me, a top-notch one at that. I love me some Spring. I think Spring is an absolute gem that you should all watch. I do believe this is on Tubi. You can watch this movie whenever. Shot here in Rome, E.T. doesn't want to phone home, picking up Caesar's bones, eating Italian ice and ice cream cones. Okay. Fright from 1971 is this underrated movie that could be seen as an inspiration, including a babysitter being terrorized by a homicidal maniac. It has Honor Blackman, classic Bond movie, Goldfinger. Okay. Nadia is a stunner. Absolutely. She's beautiful. And she does a really good job in this movie. I was falling in love with her too. That's how good her performance is. More raps from Kubrick lover. Italy, Florence, Naples, and Rome is definitely on my bucket list. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Oh man, me too. It's funny, my dream vacation is Japan. Japan is number one for me. But if there's a number two, it's Italy. I mean, I would love to do both someday, right? That's the one good thing I do have on my side, God willing, is time, right? I'd love to explore the world and things like that. So Italy is definitely right up there because I'm a big fan of Italian cinema. Right? I've always wanted to visit, I've always told Matteo this, I've always wanted to visit the museum from Stendhal Syndrome and maybe some other filming locations and things like that. And I don't know, that would be a dream come true for me. I really hope that happens someday. And of course, Japan as well. Yeah, this just sounds all kinds of awesome. No idea why I missed it. Dude, Ginger, I think you'd really dig it. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. Milan too, hell might just decide to stay. Hey, yeah, man. I know you're already hitched, but you know what? You guys go there, avoid all the Lovecraftian monsters, and I think you guys are chilling. I might just join you in Milan someday. More perhaps Jesus Kubrick. Let's see. Italy's beautiful. The only problem is it's full of Italians. I'll be in my city, Florence, in July. Come for a few days. Inners of Lamprendotto. I think that's how it's called, right? Lamprendotto. I think I'm saying it right. See, I don't know if I botched Liechtenstein before, but apparently it's not a part of Germany, so it is what it is. Oh, Jesus. I think Victor Salva is underrated because he's a pedo, and people can't get over that. He was actually a very solid horror filmmaker. Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit. I can't get behind him, no. I mean, Jeepers Creepers is a good movie. I like the first Jeepers Creepers up at the last 10 minutes or so. But yeah, the guy, I mean, yeah, he's a scumbag. I can't put the guy over. Let's see. I'll be sitting in my city, Florence, in that city oh God, with these raps. Oh my God. Sounds interesting. I gotta check it out. That was my hot take for the month of May. Okay, well, that is certainly a hot take, and it is May 1st. Japan, me too, Grande. I want to go more than any other place, for sure. No worries, man. No worries. I'll keep an eye out for this too. Sounds awesome. It is on Tubi. You can watch this one for free. I think it's a really good one. I really hope people do check it out. But let's get back into the shit, shall we? Let's get back to this shit show. I'm getting my hands currently smeared in shit, and it's just horrible. Well, before I read what we got next, Mateo says, the Museum of Stenhol is in Florence, wink, wink. All right. Can't believe you remember Lampedusa. Wow, awesome pronunciation. I got it. All right, I got it right. Lampedusa. I got a good memory, buddy. I think part of that is because I drink Mountain Dew, but that is what it is. Salva is Coppola's butt boy. He is. Coppola got him back into the business. I don't want to talk about Victor Salva. I'm sorry. I'm just going to avoid that. Let's instead get the movie that I hate the most on here. This is easily the worst movie in this entire fucking trash can. So let's do it. Let's talk about it. Let's suffer through it. Let's entertain the masses of Grande's Graveyard. At least I hope so. Because, man, I truly think this next movie is the definition of worthless. It came out just last year, 2024 joint. It was made on a shoestring budget, of course, by the director Chris Nash. It wasn't made by Kevin Big Sexy Nash. No. I'm talking about this movie right here. In a Violent Nature. Yes, In a Violent Nature. Brief plot synopsis. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 70-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hell-bent on retrieving the locket. Oh my fucking God. You've got to be fucking kidding me that people like this movie. I truly have lost faith in humanity for the people and the masses that liked this movie so much that they went to go support it enough in the theater that it's gonna get a sequel. It's already getting greenlit for a sequel. The fact that we live in a world where this movie got greenlit for a sequel, that's what's wrong with society. I mean, it's what's wrong with society. I mean, holy shit. This is a fucking piece of shit movie. This is, to me, what should never happen to a slasher movie, right? There's all sorts of wonderful, colorful slasher movies with boobs, with blood, with mayhem, with colorful, creative killers. Hell, I've got one on my shirt. This is one where the only thing that you should never do with a slasher movie is done, and it becomes pretentious. What do I mean by that? This entire movie is shot with a gimmick. The gimmick, you might ask, the entire movie is shot via a POV of the killer as if it was a third-person walking simulator, a la Friday the 13th, the video game, a la other things that are better than this that aren't coming to my mind. I mean, what a worthless movie. The story, if you can even say it has one here, this guy named Johnny, who was mentally challenged bully kid. I wonder what other fucking movie had a vengefully disgraced and discouraged mentally challenged kid that was picked on and bullied, that was killed because they told him a bag of toys was at the top of his fucking treehouse. They spoo scared him. He fell off and died. And now 70 years later, because somebody has his fucking dad's locket, and daddy didn't care, and daddy didn't fucking take him to the fair or change his underwear or any fucking thing in the middle. Because this locket shows back up and somebody takes it, it resurrects him to life. He puts on a fucking mask that reminds me of the fucking scuba villain from fucking Scooby-Doo. The fucking, not the Minor 49er. I'm talking about like the tar villain with the giant glowing like lighthouse thing on his face. That's what I'm talking about. And Jesus Christ, you just watch this guy walk through the woods for the entire fucking movie. There's no music. There's no character development. The legend sucks. That is a horrible legend. I know I've written my fair share of movies of legends about a campfire and people going missing in the woods and women in different colored dresses. I understand you could think that's stupid, but holy shit, this is stupid. This fucking kid went up, hey, Johnny, there's a bag of toys up there. Why don't you go get it? My name's Johnny. It doesn't matter what your name is, you goddamn idiot. And the entire thing, we're here to see this gore reel. We're here to see all these great kills. There isn't any. I really, truly, where was there a great fucking kill in this movie? The first guy off screen killed. The fucking lady, oh, I'm a lesbian doing yoga. That's my character. And we're going to talk from all the way across the pond because that's Johnny's POV. And let's talk about licking each other's carpets later while I stand on the edge of a cliff doing fucking yoga so you can fucking put a hook through my chest and pull out my goddamn head from my asshole. And then everybody in the theater is going to applaud, throw popcorn, babies, and soda pop in the air because why the hell not? I mean, what in the hell? Who makes a slasher movie like this? A slasher short like this? Why not? A slasher short like this, I would have been all in for it. A 10, 15, 20 minutes short. Hell yeah, I'd be down with it. But you got to be fucking kidding me to try to stretch this to 90 minutes. You have this horrible campfire scene where it's atrociously ADR'd to the point where I would have said, if I was a producer, I would have said, this is my money, you fucking burn, you son of a bitch. John Grande took fucking $1,400 of his own fucking money and filmed, didn't have to do ADR by a fucking campfire. You fucking spin around the entire thing. You can clearly tell people are just micing over it. Then you have these fucking, oh my God, you have these dumb people trying to fight this guy, trying to shoot this guy. They can't figure it out. They're tripping over their own two fucking legs. Johnny cuts one of them in half with a log chopper. There's a scene where the guy goes, hey, ugly. Johnny chops him about 40 fucking times in the head so we can all ejaculate to the score on screen. And then the final girl gets the fucking perspective of the killer. The final girl, we're out of the perspective of the killer. I'm running over to a car. Oh my God, it's help. It's fucking randomly Laurie Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th 2. Why? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. It don't matter to Jesus. I don't fucking care. We're gonna do a date Wednesday, baby. He picked this lady up and decides to talk to her for about 10 minutes about her fucking brother and how he was attacked by a bear. Oh, animals. They don't have any reason or why. They're just predators and we're prey. She goes on and on and on and on like fucking Brother Bear in this motherfucker. And nobody gave a shit. Then she pulls over and we're all supposed to go, oh my God, is Johnny coming? No, Johnny doesn't come. In the last 15 minutes is a blue balls to tease you into thinking, okay, Johnny's going to pop out. Johnny's going to do something. Nope, it doesn't happen. We just get a big lecture from Laurie Marie Taylor. First time we've seen her in 45 cocksucking years. Happy anniversary, Friday the 13th Part 2. But God, Jesus Christ, not in this company. It's atrocious. I mean, people want to put over the effects. That's fine. How many slasher movies have great gore? How many have great effects? Does that really make this stand out and be deserving of being talked about and deserving of a sequel when we live in a world where Laid to Rest is completely forgotten about, where we live in a world where Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 are shat on, where we live in a world where all the Intruder never got a sequel, The Burning never got a sequel, Madman never got a sequel. I could go on forever. This is the stupidest, most pointless slasher movie. There wasn't entertainment in your slasher movie. There's no nudity in your fucking slasher movie. There's no hope for your fucking slasher movie. I hated every single second of this movie. It is dull. It is boring. It is self-indulgent and pretentious out its own ass. I don't care if it's your fucking shit coming out of there or the ladies who's doing yoga on the edge of the cliff's head coming out your ass. It don't matter because it's all shit. And hence why it came out of the shit bag. That is what it is. In a violent nature, I'm sorry. I thought this was laughable, but that is just what it is. Let's see what y'all have to say. Am I in the minority here? I have been staying away from the comments. I think we were here. I nearly had a stroke watching this one. Dude, I need to go through my computer and find the rant on this. I annihilated this. Yeah, this is before Brett had a channel back in the day, and man, he opened up his butt cheeks on this one. First green room, now in a violent nature, you've turned fully. Oh no, I'm turning. I'm the third man. I'm going to join Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker on Monday. I'm going to do it. I'm sorry to shit on two of your faves. That's the thing with this show. Is that like it's so bipolar? There'll be points where if you know the movie in here in the cup that I like, you'll go, "Oh my God, awesome!" But if I pull the one you love out of here, you just go, "Oh, you four-eyed bastard! Not this! Don't do this to me!" You know. But that's the name of the game, I guess. I might have to boot myself from the chat. I like this one. No, you don't have to boot yourself from the chat. Go to bat for it, please. Ginger's getting dots on us. It was an interesting idea, but damn, There was more walk in this movie than all 3 Lord of the Rings films. Yeah, pretty much. This shit is the new cure for insomnia. Yeah, if you ever have trouble sleeping, just put on In a Violent Nature. Another movie I really like, the last 20 minutes were completely pointless. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. And like, to me, to go over the top with all of your, whatever, and then to do a blue ball ending like that, like, holy shit. It went from a bad movie to a atrociously bad movie after that ending. Like, there's some endings that'll save a turd. This is one that made it like complete water, like complete diarrhea, man. That was a fucking chore to have to watch. The guy just walked and walked and walked, and he walked. And I will walk 500 miles, and Johnny will walk 500 more. Johnny's fucking still walking. If you listen closely, Johnny's still walking. Rotting corpse about Johnny, about to kill his girlfriend Bonnie, dancing to the music of Who's Tommy, written by Reds and Commies. God damn it. Some good kills, but far out. Walk, walk, walk. Oh, God. Miss C's turned into a tomato on us. The tar monster. Was it the tar monster with the fucking... Oh, my God, dude. It was laughable. The characters are dumb as fuck. Acting is horrid. It slogs on so bad. It's like watching old people fuck. Slow and sloppy, man. I got to completely agree with you. This shit sack that got raised up on a flagpole. Holy shit, man. That quote should be on the DVD. This movie's like watching old people fuck. Dirk. No, boo. I'd rather chew glass than subject myself to this dreck ever again. Liliana Oliveira, welcome, my friend. Great looking kills, bone tightening, tingling thrills. Got to pay homage to the pills. The scuba diver villain from Scooby-Doo is from the episode A Clue for Scooby-Doo. The Rock reference killed me. It doesn't matter what your name is, Johnny. I want you to take that locket. I want you to shine it up real nice. I want you to turn that son bitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. What is he? Oh, dude, this movie is so bad I stayed the fuck away from it until you watched it, and then I watched it. One of the worst slasher films I've ever seen, no doubt. Scorching pile of shit. It's on fire, goddamn. It's on fire. And the lady who gave that girl a lift wouldn't shut the hell up. What was the point? I don't know. She just going on and on. I think. Now I think. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else smells wood burning. I think that the fucking lady is supposed to be explaining and expressing what Johnny is, which is a predator that doesn't think, etc. But if that is the case of what she's saying, it completely defeats the purpose of the entire film we watched. Because the entire fucking reason that Johnny got his fucking candy ass out of the fucking grave and picked the acorns out of his asshole is because they took his locket. So there was a fucking reason. There was. So if you're telling me he's this animal that kills for no goddamn reason, you're full of shit. And that's basically what she was saying. So I don't know, unless it has nothing to do with anything. And if that case, I mean, I've seen a lot of better Seinfeld episodes than I have slasher movies like this. Miss C's gonna ban me from my own show here. Let's see. Dude, I forgot this shit is getting a sequel. Dude, they greenlit it like a month later. And I watched an interview with this director, quotes, director, fucking directing a bunch of fucking people going to the bathroom. This guy goes on and on about, how he didn't want to be like any other slasher movie. And I'm really going to do something off the fucking box. Buddy, what did you do out the box? Have you ever played the Friday the 13th game? You got actors for Friday the 13th. You ripped off the idea of a bullied, mentally challenged child coming back for vengeance. You added, for some goddamn reason, characters that had no fucking personality or actual character. They're like negative one-dimensional characters. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Ryan Hanley, the cinematography was great. And I liked that there was no soundtrack, just the sounds of being in the woods. Okay, that's totally fair. I guess, I don't know. I mean, let me ask you this. I know you like the movie. That's cool. Are there other wilderness slashers you would lean towards over this, or would this be towards the top for you? Because I'm actually curious, genuinely asking that. No, Grande looks like I'm in the minority. Well, you and Ryan like it. It's fine. I'm in the minority. People liked this movie. I had somebody tell me that this was the least pretentious slasher movie ever made. And I was like, buddy, what are you fucking talking about? Fuck this movie's entire nature violently. God damn it, violently. Jonathan Schwartz is in here. It was a work, Erica. It was a work. And this movie will never, never be the same again. We got Joe Mama in the house. Joe Mama, what's up, buddy? Hope the Knicks are doing good. Alpha Romero, I know Alpha's a darling of this movie. This movie has a great concept, but its execution is horrible. I completely fucking agree. You're about to block yourself from the chat. No, you can listen. If you like this movie, go to bat for it. This is the fun of the show, man. Please don't be discouraged. It's an idea that desperately needed a more competent director. Yeah, they instead hired this fucking guy who was a fucking armpit farter. The interviews with this director were, I agree. You watch them to get pissed off. What you want to hate watch? This dude, I watched interviews of this guy. I was like, dude, this guy couldn't fucking hit water if he fell out of a fucking boat, man. I love a good woods ambiance. Guess I will add it to the Triple H, the voice of reason in a world of fucking insanity. All these people yelling at each other, and Triple H is like, fuck it, add it to the watch list. Let's do it. All right, In a Violent Nature. I think we've shat on it enough. We're about an hour into this son of a bitch. Let's get the show on the road. Let's talk about another underrated movie here. And of course, all right. This is one I'd be very interested if any of you have seen, because we're talking about overrated, underrated movies tonight. And that doesn't necessarily mean that every single movie that comes out of here is going to be great. Now, the two that I happen to pick off the bat, I love Eugenie de Sade. I love fucking Spring. That's great. This is one that I like. I don't think it's a masterpiece. I don't think you should go quit your day jobs to watch this movie. I'm not saying that. But I am giving you a recommendation for this particular movie because I really thought it was something interesting and something of a different color, if you will. And what color, you may ask? I'm talking about the color of Grande's Graveyard's walls. Yes, I'm talking to you people about the movie from 2010. This is Yellow Brick Road. Yes, follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow. Brief plot synopsis. 1940, the entire population of Friar, New Hampshire walked up a winding mountain trail, leaving everything behind. 2008 is here, and the first official expedition into the wilderness attempts to solve the mystery of the lost citizens of Friar. Yes, Yellow Brick Road. Now, this is one that I blind stumbled across one night. I forget, it would have been just before probably middle school-ish, probably somewhere in there. And I watched, and I really liked the whole setup of the movie. Now, of course, what I just said, the brief plot synopsis, it's 1940. Everybody goes to the theater to watch a nice film print of The Wizard of Oz. And what happens after? They all single file walk out, about 500 people, and they just walked out into the woods. Why did they do it? No one knows. What the fuck happened? No one knows. 300 plus bodies are found. 100 plus bodies were missing. What the fuck? What happened? Where are these people now? What's going on? And of course, we follow a group of documentary filmmakers, not unlike Blair Witch Project. Now, this is not a shot on video, so don't confuse it with a shot on video, but we follow this guy that wants to figure out what happened. What happened to these fucking people? Where did they go? Why did they do it? Why did they not take their personal belongings? They only took the clothes on their backs. What did they see in that theater that night that maybe possessed them to go out into the woods and into obscurity? Who the hell knows? That's the whole mystery here that's set up. We meet this filmmaker and, of course, his cast and crew, and they decide, hey, we're going to go try to find out what exactly happened. They stumble upon the town. It all starts exactly where it started in the old days in the movie theater, and they go out on their expedition, of course, and slowly but surely, they all start to wind and descend into absolute madness. And to me, what I really like about this movie is that it's an acquired taste. There's going to be a lot of people that are not going to like this movie. It does not have a high rating on IMDb. It has a 4.7. So I'm sure some of you maybe were brave enough to search this on your phones while I've been explaining it. You see that 4.7 and go, all right, you four-eyed fuck, next movie, I'm not listening to you. I'm telling you to listen to me, because this movie, while it's an acquired taste, while it's not for everybody, while I'm sure there are some people that will absolutely hate it, I do think it has a little bit of something that not too many horror movies have nowadays, and that's the ultimate dread that it makes you feel from start to finish. There is truly an unease, unsettlement, and unnerving feeling that you will feel in your body throughout this entire fucking movie. It is terrifying in that retrospect. And it's not any boo scares. It's not any, witches jumping out of the corner. Nothing like that. This is much more a mystery and a situation where these people start to lose their mind slowly but surely. It starts off all fine. They record these people and ask them questions to make sure they've kept their sanity. They'll ask you, what's, 8 to the second power? What's, 100 times 3? And they ask them all these math questions to make sure that they have not lost their minds. What's your favorite band? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite, who's your best friend? All these questions that they can logically answer. And as the movie starts to go on, we go deeper and deeper into the woods, and things start to go crazier and crazier. We start to hear this music that's driving them mad, and we, the viewer, hear the music too, and it sounds horrible. It sounds like metal rubbing together or something. It's like screechy. It's like, oh, stop that music. I can see why they're going fucking crazy. There are slight arguments that ultimately escalate into death. There's a woman that says, hey, take that stupid hat off. And he goes, what are you telling me to do? She goes, yeah, take the stupid hat off. What the hell? What's the big deal? They end up fucking fighting to the death, and somebody gets their leg ripped off. Because over a fucking hat. But it's, again, all trying to tell the story of that these people are losing their fucking minds. They are losing their sanity. And we watch them on this journey as they all start to go fucking stark raving mad. I really liked that part of the movie. It's really, really well done. There's some interesting conversations and dialogue. What if there's a wizard at the end of this road? What if there really is a wizard? What would you want? What would you ask for the fucking wizard? I already have a heart. No, you don't. I already have a brain. They have the whole kind of nods to the Wizard of Oz. And I was like, oh, that's kind of clever to throw that in there. If you're going to call the movie Yellow Brick Road and they saw the Wizard of Oz before they all went missing, why not reference it as much as you can? And I liked that. I thought that was kind of interesting. Instead of a Stand By Me moment where it's, what if you could have one food for the rest of your life? That's easy. Cherry flavored Pez. Instead, in this, we get all these kind of hypotheticals. What are we going to find at the end of this road? And there's all these kind of interesting ideas as to what it may be. Instead of the opioid field that's in the Wizard of Oz, there's these berries that start to make them high and hallucinate and fucking even more crazy than they already are. And this is a really fun experience. I think that's a beautiful thing about this movie. Now, here's the problem. The movie does sort of go off the rails and fall apart towards the last 25, 30 minutes. It does not have a strong third act. It sort of crumbles, falls apart. So that's why I can't give it the outstanding, overwhelming, this is a life-changing horror movie, go see it right now. It really doesn't stick the landing. But I think for what it's worth, in a movie world and society where we see movies like Hell House LLC, people put that over like crazy. I thought this was much better than Hell House LLC. The unnervingness alone that this movie made me feel was 10 times that of Hell House LLC. Lake Mungo is a movie I quite liked. That's a movie that gets so much praise. Big fucking YouTuber. Chris Stuckman reviewed fucking Lake Mungo. The people that put that movie over say this is an all-time great horror movie, special edition 4Ks and all these things. I liked Lake Mungo, don't get me wrong. I even think this might be a little bit better than that. Maybe a step above. Maybe it doesn't have a good ending, but I think it has a better beginning. I think it's a quicker paced film. I think that this is a movie that deserves a little bit more praise. Now, maybe it's forgotten because of the ending. Maybe it's forgotten for other reasons. Maybe it didn't quite hook people the way it hooked me. But I think, like I said, in that company, this movie should be highly regarded. And I think thus it is underrated and it does deserve some more attention. Now, I do recommend you go see it, but don't hold it against me if you think that ending is shit. I will just tell you right here, I don't think the ending is very good. So that is what it is. Just sort of a devil's advocate here for this movie, Yellow Brick Road, a movie that I quite like and think does deserve a little bit of praise and a little bit more discussion because I just think it's really, really well done. But let's see where we were. I think we were here. The Night Stalker from 1972. Oh my God, I love that movie. It's such a very classic cult movie. It can be seen as sort of a pilot for Kolchak, the Night Stalker. The character can't convince anyone that he is telling the truth. That is great pick, Slasher Fred. I completely agree with you. And I have the Blu-ray of that. That's a tremendous movie. More perhaps, let's see. OMG, when you talk about the color of the wall, I thought you were going to praise Giallo. I was seriously worried. No, Giallo is a piece of shit. No, that I will say this though. I know there's all these legal stuff with that movie, and Alpha and me were actually talking about it when we did the show we did just recently, our collaboration on horror's most controversial booking decisions. We talked a little bit about that movie and it's all its legal rights with Adrian Brody and stuff like that. That's one I actually really need to revisit because I forget. I remember not liking it, but I don't even know if I would say it was worse than shit like Phantom of the Opera or Dracula 3D. I don't remember it being that bad, but like I really truly would need a refreshing watch. Do you think this movie would have worked as it absolutely would have worked as a found footage? I think this maybe would have worked even better. But at the same time, I can't deny that it really made me feel so uneasy. I was like, you've accomplished something to make me feel this fucking uncomfortable considering the quantity of horror movies that I have seen in my life. So I felt like that was a big reason to go to search this thing out. I do think it would work as a found footage though. I don't mind that they did what they did though. I think it worked. I think just maybe a rewrite towards the end might have helped it. Oh, you don't like Hell House LLC, LOL. I buried that one. I think I did a found footage special where I went all about Hell House LLC. I do not like that movie. Lake Mungo's solid, but it's overrated. Hell House sucks. I'm in that same boat. It is solid. Don't get me wrong. Lake Mungo's good, but come on, this all-time perfect movie, one of the best horror. Get the fuck out of here. It's not that fucking good. It's just not. It's fine. But the fucking marks put it up. Who said it before? Raising it up on the flag. Come on, it's just not worth that. It's not. This is one though I do think deserves a little bit more credit. And little Easter egg for you: the production I'm sorry, maybe the costume. It might have been costume designer. One or the other was Robert Eggers. Robert Eggers works on this film 5 years before The Witch. So cool little Easter egg fact here. This was a movie that Rob Eggers worked on before, years and years before he's making big $50 million Nosferatu remakes in Hollywood. So really kind of cool little Easter egg there that I thought was kind of interesting. As we move back to the overrated now. Now we're going to get the shit stains on us here. What do we got? What do we got here? Oh boy. Oh, no. Oh, God, this movie, man. Oh, shit. This actually fucking pissed me off. If you couldn't tell, the other two pissed me off. But, oh, my God, this fucking sucked. I love America. I love the US of A. I do. But if there's ever a movie that makes this country look fucking bad, it's this movie right here. It's from the year 2024 as well. It stars James McAvoy, Jimmy himself. Speak No Evil, the remake. A family is invited to spend a whole weekend in a lonely home in the countryside, but as the weekend progresses, they realize that a dark side lies within the family who invited them. Yes. Oh my fucking God. Now, that title of Speak No Evil may sound fucking familiar to you. It's because it came out in 2022. They waited 2 years, only 2 years to remake this in fucking States. That's what they decided to take a European movie that was a hit that everybody liked. And they said, fuck it, let's put it in English. Let's get Jimmy McAvoy in there. Let's get my girl. I love this woman. I love Aisling Franciosi and stop motion and fucking The Nightingale and fucking, even though Last Voyage of the Meteor sucked, she was good in it. I love her. Love Aisling Franciosi. I was like, holy shit, at least I'll have some kind of saving grace. And she is. She's the best thing in this movie. If you're going to watch this, watch Aisling Franciosi. You won't be disappointed. But to me, this is a prime example of how an American remake can truly miss the point of what made its European counterpart so good. And this is a prime example of it. I mean, first and foremost, the whole idea of the plot is it's a family on vacation, a husband, a wife, a daughter. The husband's basically a fucking cuck. He's the softest human being on planet Earth. There's fucking stuffed animals that have more fucking personality and hardness to them. His wife, I cheated on you, honey. I was sucking another man's dick and you walked in the room and you stayed with this bitch. You stayed with this bitch. You sucked it off some other guy in front of you and you stayed with her. They have this daughter that has no personality, and they meet James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi and their little boy who doesn't fucking speak. Big spoiler alert, it's just like in the original. He doesn't have a fucking tongue. Wow, I'm fucking mind blown. And of course, James McAvoy says, the next time you're on holiday, why don't you stay with us? So they go over to fucking James McAvoy's house, and the entire movie, the gimmick is let's try to build tension to make the viewer feel uneasy, just like the family is feeling. James McAvoy, Aisling Franciosi, you could tell they're up to no good. They're evil. They're not who you who they are presenting themselves to be. And of course, James McAvoy, every now and again, the darkness will come out because we have to reference Split. And because he could play all these things, we can have him play the nice family man, but then we can have him snap out of nowhere so everybody can go, ooh, that was scary. We have Aisling Franciosi. Granted, she's holy shit. Like, I truly, I mean, if I was in a position of power in Hollywood, that lady would be everywhere. That lady can act her fucking ass off. So she's okay in this. I will say she's really good. But it's virtually the same picture. If you've seen the original movie, there's really no reason to watch the first hour and 20 minutes of this thing. It's just sequence after sequence of tension. We go to a restaurant and there's tension. We go to the fucking house and we're making out uncomfortably in front of your kid. Your kid, we brought her to the bed with us because we're fucking weird. It's all these things. Which straw is going to break the camel's back until this family that's normal says, hey, we got to get the fuck out of here. Even though, you know, you people seem nice or whatever, you're also weird and you have a dark side. Let's hit the road. Let's get the fuck out of Dodge. That's discussed several times in the movie, hinted at, they never do it. Of course, until about an hour and 20 minutes in, where finally this movie decided, let's be different from the European counterpart. Let's fucking lose our balls. That's what this movie decided to do. Because we're in America, get them scissors and chop off those fucking cojones. Because that's what this movie tries to do. In the third act of this movie, James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi, they tie up these fucking people. And in minutes, this cuckold husband, his fucking dumbass wife, and his dumbass daughter get the upper hand. They spray Drano in James McAvoy's face. They spray Drano on him. He's like, Drano's in my eyes. Then fucking Aisling Franciosi, oh, go get her. Go get him, honey. Go get him. Aisling Franciosi, for some reason, gets on the top of a ladder and takes a fucking Jeff Hardy bump, but there's no table there, so she dies. And then the fucking kid who has his tongue cut out, he beats the shit out of James McAvoy with a boulder, and we all walk off into the fucking happily ever after. We all survived. Are you fucking kidding me? The brilliance of the original was the whole idea of you have to be careful who you trust. You have to be careful to who you let into your lives, whether it be on holiday, whether it be in everyday life. You have to be careful and weary of strangers because you don't know who the fuck they really are. They might be normal, they might be nice, but they also might be sadistic serial killers that want to take your kid and have them have their tongues cut out. That's the whole idea. And that, to me, was the brilliance and beauty of the original movie, because at the end, the parents, mommy and daddy, they don't get to walk off happily ever after into the sunset. No, they're humiliated. They're stripped nude. They go into a fucking field and they get murdered. And that's how it ends. It's very cold. It's very calculated. It's very disturbing, if you will. And that was the point. Here, this was clearly Jason Blum going, we got to get the guy from Split. We got to put him on the cover. We got to have him do one of these to get the fucking Mark's money to go, oh, that's the guy from Split. That's him. We got to go see this. You got him on the poster. You just put the fucking thing in English. And you know what? Instead of that dark, bleak ending that had so much to say about the psychology of not opening your door to just anybody, to be fucking careful of your surroundings. No, throw all that out, because the fucking cuckold husband decides to finally grow a pair and spray Drano in the eyes of your big bad heel. Then the wife decides it's WrestleMania and it's a fucking TLC match, wants to take a dive off the fucking stage. And then this fucking dumbass kid who cannot say a goddamn word beats in the villain's head. And we all hold hands and sing fucking Sing Doo-Dah Day into the goddamn sunset. Come on. You've got to be kidding me. Like, anyone that says America's soft or America has poor sense of remaking foreign classics, this is the poster fucking child. This is the actual fucking poster child for a movie like that right there. Don't speak at all. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Horrible. Where's Gwen Stefani at? Don't speak. Oh, horrible. But let's see what you'll have to say. I'm curious what you have to say here in the comments. I think we were here. I love Nosferatu. I thought Nosferatu was great, but that's one that a lot of people, I heard more negative than positive about Nosferatu. I know the movie got good reviews from critics. More people that I speak to did not like Nosferatu. I heard everyone say it was slow. Everyone said it was overindulgent. I mean, that's fine. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good movie. I'm sorry. Curtains, I have this movie, and it is a very underrated movie. It almost feels like something very similar to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because of how the woman fakes insanity. Love Curtains. That's another really good underrated slasher movie. Good pick. More raps. The trailer for this movie made me cringe, gave me the entire. Yeah, and like, if you're a fan of the original movie, like I was like, they're remaking that already? It's been 2 years. I was immediately like, you've got to be kidding me. And the movie was a hit. I mean, people really liked it. I had so many people come up to me and go, oh man, did you see this movie? I was like, yeah, I saw it done better 2 years ago. Like, you didn't need to do this, man. Like, yeah, you have one acting upgrade. Aging Franciosi's better than the lady in the original. Is that really worth this entire movie being seen, made, and fucking hoard out to Hollywood? I don't think so. I didn't watch the shit, but I imagine they took the balls out of the original. That is exactly what they did. They fucking got that scissors and they said, listen, you're about to get fixed. And they fucked everything up. Laid to Rest for me is a very underrated slasher of the 2000s. I love Chrome Skull. Captain Skittles, that is just a great comment, because I did mention that movie earlier. I shit you not. You can rewind me. I swear to you, I did mention Laid to Rest. I didn't review it, but I do agree that's underrated. I want to one day do a Grande's Graveyard where I talk about that era. Since Terrifier is so popular now, I would love to go back and talk about Laid to Rest and Gutter Balls and like movies like that. Do a show on those movies before they were popular, right? I have Buried Hatchet on here, which I don't like, but it is what it is. When you have to start out by saying, I love the USA, but this American remake. Exactly. That's how you just know. You just knew it was all going downhill. It is fucking great. That I agree with you. That's the whole point. It like, once you leave the screen, you're like, holy shit, I feel dirty. I feel, just everything is wrong in the world. And I thought that was why the original movie really worked. I was like, you can't fucking change this to a happy ending. Like, that the whole point of this is you're building, and then the expectation that they're going to get away and scot-free, but that's not real life. And that's really much more the world this movie's trying to portray, is the everyday real life horrors of a situation like that. Sasha Fred again mentioning curtains. I will say this: if you hadn't seen the original, this is a good tense movie, but if you know it, then it's not great. Yeah, that's, I think, a big thing why a lot of Americans that were not familiar with the original liked this and gave it the pass with flying colors. That's why it's such a highly reviewed movie. In fact, it is a higher rated movie than the original. Go on IMDb. You think I'm kidding you? Look at the reviews on IMDb. It has more positive reviews than its original. I shit you not. The trailer looked so cringy, I didn't care to see it. I love the original, though. Well, you don't have to see this. Trust me, this was just a absolutely horrible decision by me to see this movie, and like, I regretted it instantly. I think the original movie is a metaphor for Western civilization getting too soft and letting third world immigrants walk all over it. Yeah, I mean, that's all dropped in this. Nope. This is soft fucking Western people can kick your fucking ass, and even if you're James McAvoy and you're crazy, that's basically it. That's what they changed. More for, oh my God, Cooper Glover with these raps, man. I'm not going to say it's better than the original, but I liked it a little better because I was struggling with the language barrier, and I wouldn't throw rocks at somebody to kill them. You do not throw rocks at a guy who has a machine gun. Bruce Willis's character from Unbreakable makes an appearance after the credits. Yeah, I'm sure he does. 2 strikes, Grande. 1 more strike, and I'm out of here. James McAvoy was great in Filth. The original Danish production was 10 times better. Yeah, I mean, he's a good actor. I just think this was such a waste of everyone's time. Yeah, this movie is very meh. Saw it in the theater, didn't think much of it, forgot 90% of it after the credits rolled. Oh, there you go. Tom is here. Hi, John and Chad. They left out the best thing in the original: misunderstanding customs in different languages, where the baddies would switch to a language and the other couples didn't understand. That's a great point. Yes, they would talk in tongues like that, and what a metaphorical / genius way to go about it, when the whole idea of the movie is you're cutting out people's tongues. I think that's really, really good psychology. Thank you for mentioning that. That means you can bury the Hatchet films again. No, I'm good on the fucking Hatchet films. I don't want to rewatch the Hatchet films. I've seen Hatchet 1 enough. I'm good. Ginger nailed it. I think Tom nailed it as well. Throwing thumbs up, everybody. Absolutely. Speak no evil. Yeah, let's just go on from that, and let's talk about something else here in the cup of fun here. Let's see what we got over here. Oh boy. All right. Another one that is more recent, not definitely. I've had more recent ones in the underrated bin here tonight, so this is a lot of fun. I know Missy was getting off. She was like, "Oh, you usually just pick older ones." I was like, we have some fun, newer, underrated ones to talk about here tonight. This is new in my standards. Now, this is not the movie that was made yesterday, but it's a movie that was made in this Century, for example. Of course, this came out in the year 2008, and this is none other than a little joint here called Baby Blues. Yes, Baby Blues. Brief plot synopsis. On a secluded family farm, a mother suffers a psychotic breakdown due to postpartum depression, forcing the eldest son to protect his siblings from the mother they have always known and loved. Yes, Baby Blues. Now, don't judge this book by its cover. I don't like that poster. I feel like it's a little bit generic. But Baby Blues is a banger, in my humble opinion. And this is one that you should absolutely go out of your way to see, because I thought this was tremendous. I really thought this was so well done. The first thing off the bat you have to mention is the acting performances. The acting in this movie is so good. The mom, played by Colleen Porch, she does a great job in this as selling this character of a woman who has 3 kids, of course, a brand new baby, just 3 months old, who is slowly but surely losing her way. She's slowly losing insanity. And there's a lot of ideas and kind of hints that there might be demonicism sprinkled her way. There might be outside force playing into her head. And then, of course, the whole idea of getting the baby blues, becoming someone that's, traumatized, if you will, from the postpartum depression after giving birth. We're opened up to this family. Of course, the lead is played by, I want to get his name right, Ridge Canopy. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. He was in the Bad News Bears remake, which that's not a good movie, but I did recognize him. I was like, holy shit. He's in this as the lead. He's the oldest son. He's playing with his friends one day, and he comes home, and you see his home life. He's got a little brother, a little sister, and then, of course, a new baby brother. And the father is pretty much out of the picture. He's a trucker that disappears for days and days at a time. And we see, of course, Colleen as she's slowly but surely going fucking nuts. We'll see her hanging laundry, and then she'll see some kind of weird demon or hear this thing. She'll kind of look around like, what the hell? And then it all kind of escalates to about a half hour. It doesn't take very long for the ball to get rolling here. She starts to go absolutely fucking insane when one night she goes to put the baby for a bath and ultimately drowns the baby and decides, I'm going to murder all my kids, because she's lost her fucking mind. And the entire rest of the movie, like the next hour of the movie, is basically a manhunt between mother and children. And the dramatic performances in this, the whole idea of a blue hue, right? Baby blues, blue hue, the look of this thing, it's a very exploitative, gritty looking picture, of these kids trying to run from their mother. Like, it's like all hell's gonna break loose. And it is. I mean, this is, I think what's so cool about it is, the psychology of this mother going absolutely crazy, the postpartum depression, which is something that is a real thing. The idea of murdering your youth, murdering your own kin, is just absolutely disturbing as hell. And like, there's amazing scenes in this where the one son, he says, hey, you gotta go get the bicycle. You gotta go get help. Go get our neighbor. Go. He's trying to distract the mom. Then the mom comes outside and the kid's on the bicycle. He's ready to go. And she says, you get your ass back here this instant. And the kid starts crying. He's like a 4-year-old kid. What would any of us do? We'd probably listen to our mom and go over. That's my mom. She goes over and she puts him on the porch and starts spanking him. The next thing you know, she's fucking beating his skull in and stabbing the hell out of him on the porch. I was like, holy shit. It's a regular everyday spanking until it escalates and escalates and escalates until this kid is literally being beaten to death in front of our eyes. And you're just like, oh my God, this is fucking insanity. And Colleen does a great job at mixing the whole I'm craziness and then splicing back into the good side. Oh, this is your mother talking to you. And, the Mockingbird song, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond bird don't sing, I love her kind of back and forth, the whole idea of her going from mother to killer. And it's really tense, as we've lost a little bit of focus here on the camera. We'll try to fix this as I'm speaking here. But I think that her performance really helps this thing ground and anchor, and the lead son does a great job too. I love this entire thing. It's very tense, it's very uncomfortable. There's a really interesting scene where they're in this field, this open cornfield, and the brother, he's good with the slingshot, so he hits the mom in the head when she's driving a tractor at them. I was like, holy cow, like that had me on the edge of my seat. The father trucker has no idea any of this is going on, but man, really intense and exploitative. And it's a movie that I really wonder why is this not a more popular film, right? I mean, I can understand it may be too disturbing. It may be like too graphic and gritty and exploitative. I understand that, but you can't deny it's really well made. Of course, this director, funny enough, just went on to write Novocaine, which is a movie that just came out this year. Lars Jacobson, he just wrote Novocaine, so he's still working, he's still getting jobs. I thought he did a really good job in the director's chair here of really making this story feel uncomfortable. It's a very dramatic horror movie where there's really not a laugh to be had. It's just uncomfortable from pretty much moment number one to the end. And you do get a really crazy ending, which I will. Yeah, I don't know if I should spoil. I won't spoil it for you guys, but the ending is quite something. I'll say that for you. It's not going to let you down like Yellow Brick Road's ending might. I really like this. I think it's really, the acting is just unbelievable. I think it's a really underrated movie that deserves to be seen by more. I know I was talking with Haddonfield mascot John earlier in the week, and he thought this was more like a Lifetime movie. It's a Lifetime movie on steroids. It's a Lifetime movie with some cojones, if you will. And it gives me back faith in America, the US of A, that we can make movies with balls. And this is one of them, Baby Blues. Just a super disturbing, really, really good choice here, in my humble opinion, if you want to go for an underrated movie. Let's see where we were. I think we were here. Loved Baby Blues. Fantastic pick. The mom was amazing. I agree. I wish she had gotten more work. I thought she was just so, like, holy cow. And she's not, I mean, she's an easy on the eyes lady. She's a beautiful lady. But she just, oh my God, the way she could turn it on and off, I thought was so well done. Like, her performance is just meticulous in this. Have you seen Noroi the Curse, underrated found footage movie from Japan? Dude, I love Noroi the Curse, and I did review it. Oh man, I think it was the Japanese horror special number 3. If that's not the one, message me another time and I will send you the link to it, because I did review that movie. I think it's the J Horror Rising set. That's what I reviewed it on. That's what I did. The J Horror Rising set, the Japanese horror special number 3. I reviewed Noroi the Curse. I adore that movie. I went full into detail there. That's a great pick. So highly agree with you there. More raps. I watched this over the weekend after you told me about it. Pleasantly surprised. Didn't honestly think I was going to like it. Definitely a gem. Yes. Oh, I'm so see. That's like, that makes that. I'm happy to hear that. Mateo, haven't seen this one. Maybe not my cup of tea. Yeah, I mean, the subject matter is disturbing. I mean, it's really, especially to, oh my God. I mean, it is crazy. There's no doubt about that. I can understand not really having this be your cup of tea. And I think maybe that's why it had a hard time following an audience, right? I mean, I don't think this cover did it any help. That's not a good cover. I think that's a bad cover. Like, that doesn't sell this movie at all to me. Like, granted, they could have done a better cover than that. That's kind of weak. But it's a movie that was direct to DVD, didn't get much buzz when it came out. I thought this was a movie that would be talking about forever when it came out, and it just never garnered that buzz. The scene where she is watching her husband driving away in the truck, you could see her losing any hope of getting help with the baby and her sinking into depression. So sad and scary. Yes, I think that's what was so good about it, was the drama element of it. Like, it really does feel like a drama at times. And then when it tones up everything, it's toned up at the wazoo. And you're just like, holy cow. It's not, I will say, it's not overly graphic. Like, it's gratuitous, but it's a situation where it's not overly gratuitous, in my opinion. Novocaine was not bad at all. Yeah, he was the writer. So, yeah, he has gone on to do that. I stayed away from Novocaine because I don't really like Jack Quaid. If you've seen my Scream 5 rant, you know how I feel about Jack Quaid, but it is what it is. Baby Blues, man, I would love for more people to see that. I think people would really, really like it. I'm happy John Haddonfield, mascot, checked it out, because I think it's a really worth watching one. Just really, really good horror movie. So that is what it is. Back into the overrated bag of fun here. And how many more do we have? I'm not even sure here. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're at number 8. Oh, boy. We're going to the land down under, you son of a bitches. I don't know if Ginger Ninja's still here, but we're going to Australia. It's funny. Tonight, we've gone all over the world. We went to Italy. We went to where the fuck else have we gone? We've gone to Liechtenstein. This is like the United Nations episode of Grande's Graveyard of Overrated, Underrated Movies. We've gone all over the world. We're going to travel some places. We still have some more countries to travel to here tonight. But this next movie up here, oh man, this next movie, I can't stand. I've always hated this. Ever since I'm young, I saw this movie really young on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I absolutely hated it then. almost 20 years has passed. It has been 20 years. I still hate this movie. Wolf Creek, starring Joel Jarrett. Brief plot synopsis. 3 backpackers stranded in the Australian outback are plunged inside the hellish nightmare of insufferable torture by a sadistic, psychopathic local. Oh, man. My God. I fucking hate this movie. I really, really do. And I will say this. I hadn't seen it in nearly 20 years. It had to be about 20 years, maybe 2006. So I'm in the ballpark. I saw this as a kid on the Sci-Fi Channel. I was like, this was around the time Saw hit it big. And these type of movies were coming around the pike like crazy. We had Turistas, we had Hostels, we had holy shit, there's actually too many to fucking name. Captivity. You throw a rock at that time period, you were getting movies like this. This was the era where the torture porn movie was running wild, brother. And of course, Australia jumped in and said, we got our next jigsaw. His name is John Bloody Jarrett. Yes, John Jarrett, of course, plays the heel in this as these 3 backpackers. They're exploring Australia. I'm shitting you not. They explore Australia for about 37 minutes until we even see John Jarrett in the fucking film. It's about 30 plus minutes of just sightseeing and lame conversations. I did watch this for show prep with Mernsey. Mernsey wanted to join me to convince me it's good. And he didn't convince shit. It's still bad. But we did watch this and had some laughs at it at least. These people, they show up, they're walking around, they're wandering around. John Jarrett, who has become a beloved guy, Mick Taylor. He's become a beloved like horror figure. I think Ginger's met him. I don't know if you commented it yet, but I know Ginger met him. I'm in a meeting right now, so I can't actually listen. No worries. You're fine. I know you told your whole story where you met John Jarrett in a pub because I teased you. I'm like, maybe you'll run into him someday. And you're like, I have fucking did. Which I thought was a funny story when that happened, but I digress. These people meet John Jarrett's character. They go around a campfire. They talk about nothing. Then about 50 plus minutes of the movie, you realize, okay, this guy's fucking crazy. Everyone wakes up where they're tied up or fucking, tied up and chained and shit like that. And he's taunting one of the girls with a gun and he's cutting a promo on her. And I'm Mick Taylor and I'm going to blow your fucking head off and all this stuff, man. It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. There's no fear, no tension, no dread, nothing. The lead antagonist is more funny than he is scary. And I think that kind of really hurt this movie. But I do think people found a good charisma and charm to his character, hence why this is such an over movie. Like, I think this is definitely a situation where everyone's like, okay, this guy's really entertaining. I like this villain. I think he's one of those villains that you love to hate. And I think that's a big reason why people like Wolf Creek. But the rest of it, I mean, what is there really to like? The one girl, she fights him. She shoots him like sort of here. He survives. She doesn't shoot his head off. She just hits him with the gun in the back because you don't want to kill the killer. Why would you want to do that? The movie would have to end at that point. He stabs her in the back and says, now you're going to be paralyzed. Now you're going to have some head on a stick. Insinuating she's going to blow him because she can't move from the neck down. That's really, really like... To me, this is horror with no heart. There's no heart here. There's no point. There's no bloody message. Saw, at least, there was the whole, do you value your life or do you not? If you value your life, you will go through this thing and you will be rehabilitated. There was the whole idea of that. There was the mystery. There was the characters. There was what's going on. The big twist at the ending. That's why I like Saw. A lot of their ripoffs, whether it be Hostel or Teresa's or Captivity or this movie, where is that? Where's the thing to say? And there's just nothing there. And to me, the biggest offender of this is that nothing really fucking happens until about an hour in. And when things start to happen, they're just quite cliche and bad. Oh, the one girl got away on foot. She stopped someone in a car. Oh, the guy gets shot because he takes too long to put his shit in the trunk. And then there's a car chase and he drives her off the road. Big shocker. Oh, and the big pussy boyfriend that was not seen in the movie for over a half hour, he survives because it took Mick Taylor so long to kill the other 2 women that he gets fucking airlifted to safety and we could all golf clap because idiots survived. Come on. You just got to be fucking kidding me. I don't understand why this is so beloved. And people say, I had a couple people come at me and say, wait a minute, that's not an overrated movie. No, barely anyone talks about that. Poor shit. It got a sequel. It got a TV series. It made 30 million times its budget in the movie theater. 30 million times its budget. I'm sorry, 30 times its budget. It made $30 million, made 30 times its budget. I misspoke. $1 million budget movie made $30 plus million in the theater. It spawned a sequel. It spawned a TV show. It made John Jarrett a fucking legend in the horror community. Horse shit, Wolf Creek isn't overrated. This is an absolute disgrace of a torture movie to me. There's nothing to go home about. Is Australia a beautiful country / continent? Yes, we get to see some beautiful shots of Australia. Not unlike Spring, where we saw some beautiful shots of Italy. The difference is Spring is actually a good fucking movie that's underrated that doesn't get as much love as it. Where was Spring's sequel? Where was Spring's TV series? Not that it needed it, but what the fuck? I hate this. I don't think John Jarrett's that good. I know people are going to hate me for saying that. I don't give a shit. There's no charm or anything to make me try to watch this again. This was my second watch of this movie in 20 years. I promise you there will not be another third watch. This was it. Like, I hated this movie, man. Wolf Creek is for the birds, or in this case, maybe the kangaroos. I just hated it, man. Let's see where we were. I think we were here. I hope this is Wolf Creek. I don't like it at all. Well, it is, my friend. It is. Oh, hell nah. Yeah, I feel bad because I know Ginger Ninjas is straight out of Australia. So it is what it is, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to rain on your parade. I really am. Wolf Creek is so damn good. Man, I'd be honest with you. Upon a rewatch, I was trying to find a solace. I really was. I was with Mearns. We were laughing. I'm like, I'm gonna find something. There's not. The characters have horrible decisions. The writing is terrible. The acting is quite bad. The way it's shot is very amateuristic. I mean, yeah, is the country beautiful? Yeah, but that doesn't make your film beautiful. I don't know. It doesn't make the movie good. I don't know. Grande, I thought Wolf Creek was good. I thought I heard Wolf Creek was good. You haven't heard that. I'm sorry, Ginger Ninja. I really am. I promise I've sung the movie's praises. Lord Frieza Van, okay, Uncle Mick's an absolute blast. Never liked it. Just never. I don't know. People really love that character. I don't like. There's a scene. Perfect example. There's a scene where we see like home videos of Uncle Mick Taylor. We see him. It's like him, and he rolls up on this father and son who are playing at a beach, and he pours them like this, I guess, liquid to knock them out or kill them. He's pouring it out of a fucking like really suspicious canteen that just looks like you pour poison out of it. And like nobody at this fucking campsite saying anything. I don't know. Just like one of those heels I don't like. This, I always say this is a shitty version of Joyride where like I liked Rusty Nail. I'm looking for candy cane. I liked Steve Zahn and Paul Walker and Lily Sobieski. I mean, I liked all of them. I thought that was a tension-filled movie with a good villain. Ted Levine's haunting voice had a good presence to it and was entertaining from beginning to end, even when it was doing the more teen drama stuff in that movie. This is just, I thought was dull, painfully dull the whole way. Probably pass on Baby Blue. Sounds like a postpartum stuff, and that's a touchy subject for me. My niece struggle with postpartum, fortunately. That sometimes movies can get too real, but when they're done that well, I could really get behind them. And Baby Blues is one of those movies that's just done so well. Get behind you on this one. Great movie in my book. I totally respect that. Totally. Tell me what you like about it, please. Go on, man. Grande, what about films with slow burns where you don't get everything right at the start, but it slowly unfolds? I think films from the 70s before Jaws and Star Wars and behind that took their time. I mean, I'm not a straight. I like some slow burn movies. There's no doubt I like some slow burn movies. I think it's a situation where you have to get that payoff or you alongside the journey, right? Sometimes it's about the climb. It's the climb to get to the payoff of this situation. And some of that really works. And here, there's climb isn't interesting. The climax isn't interesting. The ending isn't interesting. It's just none of it ever hooked me. That's where I have an issue with that, telling a story. Yeah. This movie was fired out of a shit cannon. All right, there we go. Ryan Hanley, I turned heel on him. Now we're back babyface together. I'm happy to be babyface. Finally, I agree with you tonight. Yeah, see, Ryan Hanley and Miss Steven right on the same page all night. But yeah, finally we got one. The Godfather slowly opens with a long speech. I know that's not a horror film, but just saying that to illustrate my point. Yeah, I'm not saying, listen, I like a lot of slow burns. It's just it doesn't necessarily mean that every slow burn is good. Some slow burns burn bright brighter than others. Some of them fucking flame out. That's what happens. He calls this woman a tall mare in the Wolf Creek TV show. Are you fucking really? I haven't been brave enough to see the Wolf Creek TV show. I think Wolf Creek is fine. The first 50 minutes are the cure for insomnia, but everything after that is actually watchable. It's fine. Yeah, to me, 50 minutes to set a hook, that's too long. And it's not even like, okay, to me, it's even more of a disgrace for this. You had 50 minutes to make me feel an iota of a shit about any of these people, and I didn't feel anything. You had 50 minutes to establish them. And I don't think their own mothers could have identified them. That's how fucking bland and emotionless they are in this entire movie. Like that's my problem. You took the 50 minutes to show scenery of Australia. Nice. What else you got? What do these characters do? There's nothing to them. I think you will like slow burn films though, Grande, for sure. Gets off your channel, Grande. Okay. Let's see. The thing I don't like, I'm sorry, I almost skipped all the way down here. The thing I don't get is why he lets the main guy from Wolf Creek 2 off so easy. I never saw the second one. I honestly never saw it. I tapped out after this. Come on, Mick Taylor's a legend, mate. Hey, man, to most people he are. It's just not me, not my favorite. Let's see. Grande, I want to say you're better than the television. You do a good show on movies. Thank you. I try. This is a lot of fun. I do love doing this show. Fire Flames, first time name in the graveyard. Funny, I just watched it for the first time last week. Wasn't impressed. So I'm happy you're checking out the show here tonight, Fire Flames, and I'm wholeheartedly with you. I didn't like this at all. I'd like to see a remake, but done with your Aussie accent in the style of Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That would be amazing. And I'm so excited that director's coming back. Eli Craig is making the Clown. What's the fucking name of it? Clown, and I forget the damn name. It's Clown something, but it's coming out. I'm so excited to see that and support it because I love Tucker and Dale. And that's actually come out of the cup of Grande's Underrated before. This is Mick Taylor. People saying, hey, I like how mean-spirited the movie is, and I don't think and how he didn't let those bitches off the hook whatsoever. Okay, fair enough. There's a second one too. I am not brave enough. I really am not. One Wolf Creek was enough. Wolf Creek. I am good. And there's a TV show. Who in the hell? OMG, I love this movie. Captain Skittles. All right, Captain. I find it a cool idea that there's an insane guy out there in the outback, and that's the reason for all the disappearances. Yeah, I guess, like, for me, maybe I would have liked maybe his legend to be built a little bit more. Like, maybe these guys are backpackers and they're out there looking to run across him. And then when they finally do, they're like, oh my God, we got him. Like, we got him. And then they think they're going to outsmart him. And of course, outsmarting Mick Taylor. I'm sorry, I skipped a comment here. Let me see. Long-time viewer, first-time chatting. Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much, Fire Flames. Clown in the Cornfield. Okay, that's the one. I am seeing that. I'm so excited to support Eli Craig again. Clown in the Cornfield comes out next week. Is it really that soon? Okay, well, you know what? Next week we'll have to hit the movies. Only. Also, the Wolf Creek location itself is super cool and eerie to me. Yeah, I know there is a real Wolf Creek. It's spelled with an E at the end of Wolf Creek. So that is pretty interesting. I mean, if someone is a big fan, you can go to the actual Wolf Creek. I heard the 2 Wolf Creek movies are based on 2 real-life serial killers in Australia, but I still don't like either movie. I actually think Baby Blues was based off a real story as well. I forget the name of the person, though. Scratch, Bruno's in the house. What's going on, Scratch? Hope all is well with you. But that is, of course, the unfortunate Wolf Creek. Let's get back into something worth a shit here. Let's see what we got over here. We got 2 movies here. Okay, they're stuck together here. We got this one. Okay, so the next movie up here. Oh, all right. So you know how we've been saying we've been jumping from country to country to country? Well, we're going to do that again right here and now. Of course, our next movie here takes us all the way to my good friend from France. Yes, one of my fave filmmakers of all time, the legendary Jean Rollin. And of course, this film, not The Grapes of Wrath, The Grapes of Death. Yes, The Grapes of Death from the year 1978. That was quite the year of horror. Brief plot synopsis. A young woman discovers that the pesticide being sprayed on the vineyards is turning people into killer zombies. Yes. Oh, man, this is a good one. I mean, to me, I've always said that the bastard cousin between Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead is Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, a.k.a. Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, Jorge Grau's film with Christine Galbo. Great fucking movie. Like one of my top 5 zombie movies of all time. I love it. But man, if there was the bastard cousin's cousin that came out the same year that Dawn of the Dead premiered in Italy, you'd have this movie right here, The Grapes of Death, from the legendary Jean Rollin. And man, this is just an absolute gem. And the number one thing that I think you should watch this movie for is the atmosphere. This movie drips with atmosphere from beginning to end as we're following this young girl who's on holiday. She goes on a train. It's the middle of October, and it's her entire experience trying to get home to her husband, who, of course, runs a local vineyard. And, of course, she gets on the train, and there's nobody on it. Who the hell goes on holiday for a train? And, it's going to be train riding in the middle of October. She meets this man who has this disgusting pus on his face and blood on the other side. And he's just gross and decaying. And she's like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Turns out he's a zombie. She gets off the train, and every single thing from there is the heightened tension escalating as we watch this woman trying to get home for about 90 minutes. This is amazing movie. I really think this is one of Jean Rollin's best. It's Living Dead Girl, it's Night of the Hunt. I mean, holy shit, there's so many good Jean Rollin films, but this one, man, really stands out because it truly is an experience. This is an experience of just atmospheric, gothic, unsettling zombie terror with a ton of gore, with a ton of violence, decapitations, great special makeup effects of this disgusting yellow ooze that's like dripping from a lot of these zombies' faces. This is not just your quintessential decaying zombies. These are zombies that are having all these disgusting liquids come out of their bodies and faces and pores. I thought that was really good. I was like, oh man, like that is fucking disgusting. And man, like this whole thing, like I said, it's just an experience. We watch this woman. She meets this couple nearby. She goes, oh my God, I just had this craziness on the train. This guy tried to kill me. Can I please stay with you? And they just look at her. It's just like uncomfortable. It's like, what the hell? What is going on here? And she's just like, can I stay here? Do you mind? And then the husband gets up and you see a little of that yellow pus is coming out of his face. She's like, oh my God, all these people have it. What the fuck? Why are all these people turning into zombies? And of course, the whole idea is the pesticide that's being sprayed on the grapes is this substance that turns good people into flesh-eating zombies, and that's the whole idea. And in similar vein of Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, where it's the whole, the stuff for the agricultural and the fucking ants and things like that, that's what's making the people turn. In this, it's the pesticide being sprayed on the grapes that's used to make the wine for the village. So anyone that drinks the wine becomes infected with a zombie virus. I thought that was such a great idea. Like, it's not just a bite is going to get you, infected. This is a situation where, holy shit, if you drink the wine, try the wine. It was my wife's. If you know where that quote's from, I love you. But I digress. I mean, that I thought was a great idea. And then one of the best parts of this movie, which is something I definitely have to shed some light on, is this scene where she goes and stumbles upon this woman's house. The character's name, it's special to me. La Grande Femme Blonde. Yes, played by Brigitte Lahaye, who, of course, if you know your porn, Brigitte Lahaye was a porn star in France. Beautiful lady. She's in this, of course, playing a normal role of little La Grande in there. She welcomes this woman. She says, oh, come on, sit down. Like, they don't come in here. Don't worry about it. She's like totally fine. Nothing's happening. Like, there's not a zombie outbreak going on in this town. Bridget is just chilling like a villain, sipping some wine. And she's like, don't drink the wine. Don't do it. She's like, oh, good, fine. They're not going to come in here. It all escalates to where she's like, listen, I can tell there's something off about you. This is fucking weird. I want out of this house. And she's like, well, you can have your way, but you're much safer in here. She goes outside. Bridget follows in suit and just takes her clothes off. And there's the whole fable where Jean Rollin said that it was like 10 degrees outside when they were filming this. It was actually October. And man, she was like actually so cold that she couldn't speak her lines. So she had to dub in a lot of her lines after the fact. I thought that was so good. I was like, oh my God, like that is crazy that she was such a trooper to do this. We get a crazy head decapitation in this graveyard, the atmosphere in this graveyard of all these zombies coming back to life and chasing our lead protagonist. Just so crazy. I was like, in my element. I'm like, this is why I love horror movies. This is a perfect midnight horror movie where you can get with a bunch of friends, you can get some dooskies, some brewskis, and some snackage, and you could just be morphed into the world of Jean Rollin cinema. And this is one of those movies to me that's like just the atmosphere is the only, and it's the best reason to watch it. It really is. It's just so unmatched. And of course, we do get to the finale where she does get home to her husband. Hey, the grapes, and then we see he's like, yeah, I know, I'm infected too. I've been getting high on my own supply, lady. And then there's, the whole ending there. But I love this movie. I think this is such a good movie. Jean Rollin is just one of those guys that doesn't get enough love. I wish more people knew his movies. Like, he's one of those guys that just doesn't get enough love. I know Kino was cool enough to do a whole Jean Rollin, like, vault collection of Blu-rays, which are now mostly out of print, unfortunately. But man, I hope this one eventually gets that 4K re-release because it really deserves it. If you're looking to see it, it is on Tubi. You can watch this movie. It's a really good atmospherical original zombie tale. The Grapes of Death. La Raisins de la Mort. Come on. Can you beat that poster? I think that is just one of the best posters. Absolutely love this movie. Let's see what y'all have to say, though, in the comments. I think we were here. Well, since you don't like Elm Street Bronson, you need to leave. Just joking. All good, man. Decapitation scene is nice. Lucy, I love you. Yes, that decapitation scene is wildly gory. It honestly feels like I would love to know if Peter Jackson was a fan of this movie. Like, that whole scene in the graveyard reminded me of Dead Alive. Like, the whole vibe of it, feel of it, and similar way to Cemetery Man, of course, with my good buddy. Oh my gosh, why can't I not think of the fucking name? I can't think of his damn name, but Cemetery Man's another fucking classic movie. I love that movie. Let's see. I like Nightmare on Elm Street. I just think it's very well known. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Nightmare on Elm Street's a great movie. Welcome Bronson, Right Wolf. Hell yeah, I love John Rollin. Grapes of Death is wild. He was on fire in the 70s. Bridget LaHaye has my heart. Yeah, she has my heart too, dude. She's got a little lockbox of both John's hearts here. John squared. Clockwork Orange, that's right. I'm pleased you like the wine. Would you like another glass? Yes, that's the guy, man. The legendary Clockwork Orange. Let's see. Scarface, Don't Get Too High on Your Own Supply. Yep. This one is going on Tubi list. Sounds right up my alley. I think you'd love it. Any zombie fan, like I always say, like I said, with, the bastard cousin being Let's Leave Corpses Lie. This fits right under that umbrella. It's in between Night and Dawn, and it's just right. It's perfectly in the middle. It's like, oh man, this fits so nicely in that era where there were so few and far between great zombie movies in that time period. But man, this one, oh, so good. Another good one, didn't see your underrated picks before, Baby Blues, but Grapes is excellent. The nighttime scenes are very creepy. The weird happy synth soundtrack and the lead was great. I agree. Yes, she did do a really good job. I want to get her name here too. I actually forgot to. Marie Pascal. Let's just say her Marie Pascal. I don't know how to say that middle name. I'm going to botch it and make a fool out of myself. But I agree with you. And if you want to catch the replay, I do. I could tell you the other picks if you want me to. I mean, I could. We had, let's see. The other picks were Yellow Brick Road. We had Yellow Brick Road on there. We had Spring. And we had Eugenie de Sade. Those were my underrated picks. But I went more in depth on them, obviously, earlier in the show. So if you rewind it. I'm sure you've seen Little Shop of Horrors. Have you seen a movie called Novocaine? I just mentioned Novocaine. Oh, Steve Martin, Novocaine. Okay, sorry. Helena Bonham Carter and Laura Dern are in it as well. Yes, and Little Shop of Horrors is one of my faves. I love that. That's a really, really classic movie. No matter which version you watch, whether it's the black and white, whether it's the Rick Moranis. I mean, can't really go wrong there. That's a great movie and story and play too. I mean, love Little Shop of Horrors. All right, back into the pain here. I think we have one movie left in each of these. Yep, here it is. This is the last movie in the trash can of fun, and this is another rant here. We're jumping all. I'm telling you, man, this is the United Nations episodes of Grande's Graveyard. We just go from France, and now we jump to Sweden. Yes, we're jumping to Sweden. And a movie that I thought I had, but I have never reviewed on this channel before. I was shocked myself, but it's time because it's Ari Aster's sophomorial effort, of course, from the year 2019, starring everyone's favorite, especially Lord Freeze's favorite, Florence Pugh. This is Midsommar. Yes, Midsommar. Brief plot synopsis. A couple travels to Northern Europe to visit a rural hometown's fabled Swedish midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Oh, man. This one, yep, somebody said it before me. Ari Aster. My bum is on the Swedish and the Swedish, okay. Yeah. I will say this. This is going to surprise people. Right off the bat, I know we've given Ari a lot of hate on this channel. I do think this is an improvement over his first movie, Hereditary. I do. I would say this is a better movie. If you ask me, well, pick one, I'd take this. I can see positives here. I really do. But other than some of these positives we will get into, this is an overrated fucking movie, man. Holy shit. Oh, man. Horrible. So this movie opens up with Florence Pugh, and she's basically like studying for some exam, and she gets to the call that her sister has murdered her parents. And she didn't just murder them in any other way. She, for some reason, tied a fucking exhaust fume to her mouth, traced it all the way through the house into this fucking bedroom, and suffocated the parents. And Florence Pugh's whole family's been killed. She sobs, she weeps, she moans. And then it's months and months later, she hears about this Midsummer festival in Sweden. And of course, she wants to go. And of course, get her mind off of things. I guess in a similar vein to Spring, right? It's like, let's get away. Let's get a change of scenery, Her boyfriend, played by Jack Rayner, does not love her anymore. He wants to break up with her, but doesn't know how to do it. So he's kind of walking on eggshells. You have Will Poulter in this movie playing an idiot. That's all his character is. He's just a one-dimensional idiot that's not funny or entertaining, and nobody likes him. They go to this festival, and these people are weird. They have all their weird traditions. We see all their weird countryside. We see these dumb fucking old people jump off a cliff and get their fucking heads smashed in with hammers. And these people don't think anything of it. They're all arguing about writing a fucking thesis paper instead of saving their own asses and getting out of fucking Sweden in one piece. And what ensues from there is one by one, they're picked off because they do things that don't abide by the rules. Florence Pugh is getting taken into this society and being kind of embraced and finally giving her entire, I guess, companionship and support that she needed because she's lost her family. And her boyfriend cheats on her with some ginger lady while all these old naked women are forcing her on to this ginger lady so he can have her spawn a ginger child while they put him in a bear suit, burn him alive, and we all cheer as the credits roll. This movie fucking sucks. It's horrible. Now, I will say there are positives, and I do think Ari did an okay job. Visually, again, really stunning movie. Looks beautiful. It really does. Florence Pugh, I know the Lord Freeze isn't going to like this because he doesn't like Florence Pugh. I think she does a good job in the role. She really does do a good job. That's about it, though. I mean, everything else is bad here. This is for characters. When you think of bad or dumb horror movie characters, these people have to come to mind. Like, this is a poster child for dumb characters in a horror movie. Hey, man, you stole my fucking thesis. No, you motherfucker. I'm going to keep my thesis. I'm going to write my thesis all I want. These people are arguing about a thesis. These motherfuckers are jumping off cliffs and bashing each other in the head with fucking sledgehammers. And you're more worried about your fucking paper that you're not going to be able to go back to America because you're too much of a dumbass to realize that you're in trouble. This one lady, your boyfriend left. He just went home. Oh, he wouldn't do that. Can you guys take me in a car where I'm the only one in the car and there's 5 of you and you could possibly take advantage of me in the situation? I trust you, Swedes. We never see her dumbass again. Well, we're eating these fucking chicken pot pies and the fucking ginger lady decides I'm going to take my ginger pubes, my ginger snaps, and I'm going to pour them on your fucking chicken pot pie so you can get a little bit of a taste of the wild side, brother. No, thank you. Ain't nobody want some ginger in their chicken pot pie, buddy. Ain't no goddamn one person. Not one. And the fucking whole idea is that Ari wants to show that this is how people deal with grief. The whole idea of the horrors of grief that we go to. And of course, she feels unaccepted by her boyfriend. He treats her like shit. He eventually does cheat on her. And we have this whole society that crown her the May Queen and cover her in flowers and carry her around on a pedestal like she's Queen Elizabeth VIII. And we're all supposed to be happy for her. And at the end, when we fucking go here and everyone's squawking like fucking chickens as this fucking place is burning down at the end, man, I just cannot. It's just so overindulgent and so self-indulgent and full of itself. I mean, come on. How you have to say this movie's pretentious. You do. It's just so fucking pretentious. Horrible. We're going to burn the guy alive in the bear suit. Call back to the fucking Wicker Man remake. And of course, all the folk horror of the world, things like that. I really just did not like anything about this. It really was so poorly done to me. Like, Ari Aster is a good visual eye, but man, he cannot write. He cannot write to save his life. He really, really cannot. I think if he hired a writer, if he said, "Here, this is my idea," and let the writer go from there, maybe you could fix these things. But man, this is, I think, a travesty. I saw this in the movie theater, and by the last 20 minutes, openly heckled it. It's 2.5 hours. There's an even longer cut. There's a director's cut that you could buy from the A24 site and jack off to all over you want on the cover. If you really want to see the director's cut, where they probably are talking more about the thesis paper than actual themes of grief and horror cinema. But I digress. I mean, I'm sorry. This is a fucking travesty of a movie. Just so full of itself. So fucking, oh God. I hate Midsommar. I really do. It is an improvement. I saw that he had fixed some things from Hereditary, but overall, I'm sorry. This is just not a good movie. When I think folk horror, and I hear all the people that praised it, right? You know, why is it coming out of the Overrated? People saying at the time, oh, he's the first person ever to make horror movie that's scary during the daytime. He took the light and made it scary. Dude, come on. There have been other fucking movies horror-wise and folk horror-wise and of that. Dude, watch Blood on Satan's Claw. Tell me the fucking the Ashley Blake scene isn't scary when she fucking summons the whole cult and they kill that kid. That's not scary. That was during the day. That came out fucking 50 years before this. Where was the love for that movie? Where was the hype? Where was the praise? Where was fucking all the nonsense? They even attributed this movie at the Oscars. Did a fucking Midsommar dance. I mean, I don't know. I just did not like this. And I really do like some folk horror, but this just was not it for me. I really, really did not like or enjoy Midsommar. It's just not one of my faves. Really, really weak movie. Let's see what y'all have to say, though, in the comments. I think we were. Oh, man, this one got some comments. What the fuck? I think we were here. Shit away, Grande won't get no argument from me. Stupidest movie ever. Okay, so we're back at and in the name of all that is holy, oh boy, I fucking hate Midsommar. Yeah, Midsommar sucks. Like sunlight 24 hours straight. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Grande, wouldn't it be in the vein of Wicker Man? It is in the vein of Wicker Man. I hear a lot of people compare the two. That Wicker Man is more about he goes in and he doesn't accept of their culture, and it was the times, and it was, you know, peace and love and all of these things. And this guy kind of comes in looking for this missing girl, which missing in quotes, if you've seen The Wicker Man. That movie had a lot to say about the horrors of culture, whereas this is more about grief. And like, to go about it in the way that they do, I just really, did this have to be 2.5 hours? Really? Like, you couldn't have told the story in any quicker of time? And like, also, here's the thing, you know, I'm sure there are a lot of people that say, oh, it's in the vein of Wicker Man. What it's really in the vein of is a movie called Midsommar. What are you talking about, Grande? What are you saying? Don't believe me? Look it up. Type in Midsommar 2003. Type it in. You have the same exact fucking plot as this movie. You have the lead character boyfriend also has the same name in the movie. So what the fuck? I mean, if I'm those people, I'm suing. I'm suing you right off the fucking wazoo because you ripped off the idea and the name of my movie. Unless you bought the rights, which I don't think they fucking did, I would sue their ass. Midsommar was fantastic in my opinion. Oh, I thought you were calling it Midsommar, like it missed. Watch it twice back to back and enjoyed it more the second time. Okay, I will say there are a couple of positives. I will say, like, visually, man, it's outstanding, but that's about. And Florence does good. I know everyone goes crazy about Toni Collette. I thought Florence Pugh did really good. Like, she didn't go over the top like Toni did to me. Robin Williams has been in Insomnia, 1 Hour Photo, The Final Cut, The Night of the Listener. I think Insomnia and 1 Hour Photo are overrated. I love 1 Hour Photo. I'd have to disagree with that. Final Cut, Night Listener are underrated. The Final Cut is too depressing towards the end to me. Nothing more terrifying than a herd of zombie winos. Okay. That was, I guess, about the fucking Wrath of Grapes. Jesus Christ. The Grapes of Death. Yeah, this one sucks. I rewatched it back in December and tried to be generous to it, but this movie's a piece of shit. The thesis paper almost made me blow an aneurysm. Yeah, it's just, Like, come on. And that's all you get. That's all these characters have. That's all that's to them. And oh, hey, I remembered your birthday, Florence. Haha, let's sing with a cupcake. It's like, dude, can somebody fucking end this shit, man? Put it out of his misery. Ari Aster's head is so far up his ass, it's almost coming out of his big, oh my God. Oh shit. Lord Freeze does not have, this man does not care. Haha, damn. I love Midsummer. I should pull it off the shelf to hold it for comfort. Do you have the director's cut that you can coddle? I'm just teasing. I'd rather have a bad case of hemorrhoids than be subjected to this. Yeah, I kind of agree. Other than the technicals in Florence Pugh, this is a total nothing burger of a film. I love Will Poulter. Dude, Will Poulter's character in this is just the annoying idiot guy that gets killed off screen, just like so many other people in this movie. Oh, it's not a slasher movie. I know it's not a slasher movie. It's just a piece of shit movie. Shit on behind, no worries. Stupidest what the fuck orgy ever. Yeah, the people going, ah, ah! And then the point where Florence Pugh decides to grieve with all the women and they're all crying with her. And ah! We were in the theater. And so now I'm about to ruin this scene in Midsummer for anyone that likes it. I'm so sorry. There's the scene where Florence Pugh starts grieving because her boyfriend is cheating on her, and they're all crying and holding Florence Pugh, and she's crying, oh no. Fucking, we're in the theater, and I nudge my buddy Alex, and they're all crying, ah, and I was like, this is what happened. This was the reaction when they canceled Friends. And he laughed so hard. We were the only two in the theater. We were cracking up laughing at that. So every time I see that, I'll text him or I'll be like, when they canceled Friends. That's a gif we send back and forth to each other. So I don't know. That's the best thing that came out of this movie for me is the gif. Man-hating propaganda movie. I know what you're saying. I don't think it's one of the biggest offenders when it comes to man-hating propaganda. I don't. I think I get what you're saying, but the whole idea is she hooks up with this Swedish guy who is sensitive of her and is going to be the May King, if you will. They set that whole thing up where he's the guy that gets her there is flirting with her at the end and they kiss. And it's like, oh my God, it's horrible. It's like the whole idea is she's lost her family, has now found a new one. That's the whole arc they're trying to tell with her character. It's like you lost something. Everyone here that was here for you isn't clearly here for you. They don't love you. And of course, our society will take you in. You just have to be a crazy May Queen fuck like us and squawk like a chicken, where Frankie Valli, of all the people, is singing the song at the end. I forget the name of the fucking song, but you know what I mean if you see the movie. Yes, the film that restored my faith in modern horror. Midsommar is perfect. Wow. All right. A perfect from Alba. That's high praise. I think Alba's even more critical than me. And that's, wow. I'm kind of blown away. Yeah, another stinker along with Hereditary, Fire Flames. First time in the chat from Fire Flames. I'm right on the same page. I liked Midsommar, but not as much on a second viewing. Hereditary was better. Yeah, see, I don't know why. I saw more solace in Midsommar. Like if you said to me, Grande, pick one, I would totally pick this. I thought I saw positives here. I think this was much more of a horror film for me. Like, I guess maybe that's why. I don't know. I can't really give the big reason. Well, I'm going to have to send you a director's cut Grande. Oh yeah, good luck. You have to pay $68 for that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is scary during the day. That's a good point. I couldn't handle watching the regular cut. I'd literally fucking bash my head against the wall for the director's cut. Yeah, me too. Ari Aster taps into anxieties that I didn't even know I have. Okay. I heard someone say, I think might have been Mearns. Mearns said that this is the best depiction of what it feels like to be on shrooms, because there's a scene where they all take shrooms in the movie, and Mearns said they perfectly captured it. Unrelated, but I haven't seen Malignant yet, thinking of watching it tonight. I love that one, and that was on one of these overrated, underrated shows. That came out of the Cup of Goodness, so that's an underrated one for me. I really, really like Malignant. That's an underrated movie to me. So it's a remake? Not really, but kind of. I don't know how to say it. It's not. It's just very reminiscent of other movies, including one with the same name and premise. I'm very late tonight. Night 90 Robert. Welcome, Night 90 Robert. I guess the ginger guy didn't have enough stroke power. Got to have old ladies putting his ass to satisfy his poor girl getting humped, I guess. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Did anybody else just find that fucking stupid? Like, was that really disturbing to people? Like, oh man, I mean, I just had it when he fucking started pushing his pelvic thrusts into this lady with a bunch of naked old women. That's just silly. Like, come on. I really can't watch that and be like, wow. this is some serious art. I can't. That's just pathetic to me. Skittles, Malignant is decent, kind of basket case-esque. Yes, definitely. That's a good point. Let's see. Dude, the sex scene had me fucking howling, laughing. She was misled. He didn't cheat. He literally put her under a spell, and they made him cheat, I think. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think too hard about this movie. My thesis paper is yet to be written on Midsommar, but it is what it is. This brings us to the last movie. We had an extra underrated one here tonight, and we go from Sweden to 3 different foreign countries. I'm talking about Hong Kong, I'm talking about Japan, and I'm talking about South Korea. Yes, we have 3 extremes, if you will, and I don't have anything to screen share. I actually have the DVD copy of this. 3 extremes. Brief plot synopsis, wherever the hell I had it up here. I think it was right here. Yeah, here. An Asian cross-cultural trilogy of horror films from accomplished indie directors. Yes, of course, Fruit Tran, Park Chan-wook, and Takashi Miike. This is one of the best horror anthologies ever to me. And you want to talk about a perfect movie? I would say this has got to be in the vein of perfect. I love this movie. I think this is great. It's been 20 plus years. This deserves a better edition. Like, why is there not a Blu-ray of this? Why is there not a 4K of this? It's screaming for one. I think this is a perfect horror anthology because of the mix of types of horror that we get. Perfect example, each different story is from a different, Asian country, right? The first is Hong Kong, then we go to South Korea, the final segment is in Japan. And each one is about 40 minutes long, and they're each dealing with different types of horror. The first segment, called Dumplings, I thought is just a brilliant one, and one that I think the substance owes a lot of its praise and hype to, because it tells the story of this aging actress. She's like in her early 40s. Her husband doesn't find her desirable anymore. He doesn't want to sleep with her. So she goes to this famous witch doctor that lives in this slum, and her name's Aunt May. And she says, "Hey, Aunt May, I was hearing that you could give me something to make me younger again. Is that true?" And Aunt May says, "Absolutely, honey. You do this. You come back here twice a week, and you have my world famous dumplings. And before you know it, you'll be skinny again. You'll be voluptuous again. You'll be aging like nothing. And your husband will want you again. You'll be getting more film roles, all these things. You'll be desirable again." So she starts to go there every week, twice a week, to have those dumplings. And man, she's enjoying them, and she's looking great. She's getting more roles. Her husband all of a sudden wants to fuck her. Everything's looking up until we learn what is in the dumplings themselves. And therein lies the horror, because it's not just any old witch doctor ingredients. It's not a blade of grass. It's not a potion. It's nothing other than a fetus, by God. Aunt May is stealing fetuses from a local hospital and making dumplings filled with them in order to try to restore the youth of all these women that truly feel undesirable in their lives. And I thought that was such an interesting way to tell this type of story, because like I said in the review for The Substance last night, this is a story that's been told to death. When you look at Beauty Rest or Black Swan or Mary, we look at all of these things that tell the whole story of a woman that feels undesirable, that is aging, that doesn't feel happy within. She doesn't like what she sees in the mirror. So what does she do? She goes to a witch doctor. She goes get some magical dumplings. And all of a sudden, everything's looking up until she gets one that, let's say, it wasn't potent enough. And of course, she starts to have this stench, and all fucking hell breaks loose. And man, I love dumplings. There's a feature-length version of it you can watch, or you can watch the condensed 40-minute version. I highly recommend either. I think both versions are tremendous, but Fruit Chan, man, did such a good job at making you feel uneasy. And the body horror in this, to me, is body horror done amazingly. You'll hear, she'll be taking a bite of the dumpling, and you'll hear the crunch. You hear the oh my God, dude. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh God. Like, you immediately kind of just cringe, and you're just like, no, like, they're really going there with this? Like, that is fucking nasty. There is some aborting of fetuses that we see. I will say that. There's some gore galore. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. This is some gross stuff if you're watching. But again, body horror mixed with the psychology of the horrors of feeling undesired again. I think that's so good. What a great mix. The performances here are good. Really good segment. The middle segment is also really really great from, of course, South Korea. Of course, Park Chan Wook, who has made so many great movies. Thirst being one of my favorites, and of course, this one stars the front man from, of course, a little show called Squid Game. Now, this stars, of course, Lee Byung Hun in this director segment Cut. And he plays this film director who's we open up and he's directing a film and he's telling all these extras what to do and how he wants the shots to be set up, things like that. Really cool, kind of a fourth wall break, if you will. He goes to drive home for the night. He's kind of attacked and kidnapped, and he wakes up in this room where his wife is kind of like glued down to this piano because she's a piano player, and it's just one of these amazing visuals of horror where you see this woman, her mascara running down her face, and this disgruntled extra from a former film he worked in has this man tied up, and he says, every minute I'm going to cut up your wife's fingers unless you kill this child across the room. And there's a little child like kind of, wrapped up. And the entire segment from there of this cat and mouse argument is dialogue driven. And this is Rod Serling-esque dialogue. I love how this story was told. And the whole, at first she's saying, don't kill the kid, don't kill the kid. I don't need my fingers. Like, you make enough money, don't do it. And then there's the situation where she's like, you know what, after a couple fingers get cut off, she's like, kill him, kill the kid, I don't even care, kill the fucking kid right now. And he's so conflicted on what to do. And we go back and forth between a director and extra. And he's like, did I treat you unfairly? Could you please let my wife go? Like, what is the problem here? And he's like, you didn't treat me unfairly. It's just the whole fucking system. It's just how I'm remembered. It's a disgruntled extra that's just not having it anymore. And it's not even that this guy did any harm to him. It's just the whole system. He's trying to prove a point. Great stuff. The wife eventually, he starts to taunt the wife. He goes, you don't play that piano, right? You just fucking use those fingers to wear rings that I buy you. Like, such good dialogue. If you really like good writing, watch Cut, the middle segment of this, which is just tremendous. But to me, the one that takes the cake, the best extreme of the three, is none other than when we go to Japan for Takashi Miike's segment, in the segment titled Box, where we follow these we follow this woman who we see her everyday life. She's kind of sad. She's dealing with depression. It's the middle of the winter. We can see a lot of Tokyo in the winter. It's beautifully shot. We're watching her and we see a flashback to when she was a child, and she and her sister were a part of this traveling act that traveled Japan with their father, and they were these contortionists. They can contort their bodies into any kind of position so they can squeeze into tight places. They have this little box, hence the title, that they can squeeze into. And let's just say the father has favorites. Let's just say that. He has a favorite of the two daughters, and it gets a little too graphical in that sense. I won't spoil what happens, but I think if you have imagination, you can guess what he's doing. We don't see anything like that, but it's heavily insinuated. One night, the sister, this feeling envious about her other sister, is like, fuck this, I want a night with dad. And she switches and locks the sister in the box. And what happens from there is the father finds out. He goes, get her out of this box. What are you doing? There's a struggle. A lantern falls over and the box goes ablaze, and this little girl burns alive in the box. And this is, of course, years later, where we're following the other sister who's depressed over killing her sister. And of course, insanity ensues as this thing plays out like a literal fucking nightmare, directed by Takashi Miike, one of the all-time great Japanese filmmakers. This is unbelievable. It's so good. The musical score, this little music box score, so unsettling. I love the acting. I love the pace. It's rather slow, but it does really build to a nice crescendo. The ending will truly make you go, what the fuck, in a really good way. And I just thought the acting here was superb. Everybody from top to bottom. This was like one of my favorite Takashi Miike joints. I wish there was a 2-hour version. I really do. But as a 40-minute short, it works perfectly. It's so well done. I can't tell you enough. I really highly recommend that. And like, that's the beauty of three extremes, right? Three extremes, three different directors, three different countries, three different types, right? Body horror, undesirable, disgruntled, and of course, craziness. Should I kill or should I not? And then finally the horrors of I guess, regret. And all of that bottled into one from three different, very talented filmmakers from all over the world of Asia. Really love this movie. This is another one you can watch this on Tubi. I highly recommend. I hope someday it gets a nice big special edition because it does deserve it. It's a movie that, yeah, it has high ratings, but how often do you hear people say this is one of the best horror anthologies? It's never thrown up there with Creepshow. It's never thrown up there with Black Sabbath. It's never really thrown up there with Trick or Treat. I think this movie kicks the shit out of Trick or Treat to me. But that's just me. I mean, Three Extremes is really, really good. I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. And I think, it's just a perfect crescendo of what underrated horror in this cup has been tonight, right? We've gone all over the country with it, right? We went from Germany, we went from Hong Kong and Japan and Italy and all these wonderful places as my camera's going out of focus. This one is a little bit of a taste of each one of those cultures. So really, really like Three Extremes. I think it's a great horror anthology. Let's see where you guys were in the chat. 60. It's very expensive. I know that. I don't know if that's the exact price. It was stupidity. I was just shaking my head, laughing. Not scary at all. I agree. Dumplings is great. Wonder what movie came out last year that did that story much worse. Yeah, I'll give you 2 hints. I just posted the rant yesterday. The Substance is very similar to a film from the 80s called Rejuvenator. Hey, there you go. Another movie. Basically a remake, but that's also basically a remake of a Corman film, The Wasp Woman, which there you go. See, I love the Scratch Bruno's coming in and being like, yeah, you know what? There's even more movies that The Substance ripped off. I'm going to watch this for sure. Would love to hear your thoughts. Really would. I think all three of these are really, really good stories. Did you see BK is supposed to be doing a bad Lieutenant Tokyo? Really? That's interesting, man. That guy rarely misses. He's so talented. Love Takashi BK. BK's audition was good, but really hard watch. I think that's the point. Same with, Imprint, and same with Goku. What's it called? Not Goku. Oh my God, what the fuck is the name of that movie? Goku, something like that. I fucking forget. Gozu is the name of it. BK is pretty extreme when he shows violence, gross stuff. Absolutely, Lieutenant. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Gozu. Thank you. I got it right before you said it. But Gozu, the ladle scene. If you know what that scene is, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, this has been a lot of fun, guys. We've talked about 11 movies in the overrated versus underrated horror categories here tonight. About 2.5 hour a marathon here of Grande's Graveyard, and I definitely really enjoyed doing this show here tonight. This was a lot of fun. I'm talking about all movies that I clearly love and movies that I clearly do not. So these are always fun shows to do. I really appreciate you guys being good sports in the chat and being okay with me shitting on some of your faves. And then hopefully, I'm hoping that some of you guys seek out the movies in the cup that you may not be familiar with. That's always the goal of these. So I really do appreciate that. Love you. We love you too, Joe Mama. Hope the Knicks are doing well. Only on the Graveyard. 2 CPs. Yeah, absolutely. Next week, we have our viewer request. One of the two winners, of course, from the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy. That's what he asked me to review is Anthony, Ant-Man 525. He's requested me to review that trilogy of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So next week, we go away from the horror genre and we dive right into the little blue hedgehog that could Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. Very excited for next week. Going to be a different thing here on the show. Great show tonight. Brett, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Everybody, I want to thank you so much for a great Grande's Graveyard. I had a really, really fun time talking all things overrated, underrated horror. And everyone, I hope you have a safe, happy, healthy weekend because we will catch you next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet, peace. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.